parts of Oklahoma and Missouri. Part of a huge mess we're tracking associated with Winter Storm Isaiah here on the Weather Channel. The 3 red outlined areas is where there are tornado warnings currently in effect, and is where, if you're within these areas, you need to take action right now. Put your plan into place for tornadoes. Same story in the yellow outlined areas where there are severe thunderstorm warnings. The potential for some damaging winds, 75 to 80 miles an hour, is there. Some large hail is also a possibility. And we start right here in Missouri for parts of Cedar and Vernon counties. The storm is getting to the north end now of the tornado warning here. And as we look at where the spin is associated with that, well, basically what we do is we look for where the green and the red is really close to each other. The Doppler portion of the radar lets us know which direction the winds are going, the raindrops essentially. As the radar sweeps around, it can detect and it can tell if the raindrops in green are going toward the radar or away from the radar in red. And if they're close to each other, that indicates there's some spin in the atmosphere. It doesn't do side to side, just close, just to and from the radar. And that gives us an idea of where we likely do have that spin. And you can see right there, the bright green and the bright red associated with the spin in this thunderstorm where the tornado is likely to be. These are radar indicated tornadoes, Cherokee, Delaware, and Mayes counties here. We're now in Oklahoma. And right along Interstate 40 at the moment. I'm wondering if we have some big hail in there as well. You look right in there, some pretty high returns and reflectivity. So as we look at the rain here, is what this is, the reflectivity on the radar. And it's important here to see what the shape of the raindrops look like. It gives us an idea of the structure, what's going on, knowing what we know about severe weather. You're looking at was that the hail you're looking at? Didn't really pop up right now, not see much in the way of hail. But then again, so we can look at the shape of the radar. It can give us clues to what the structure of the storm is. And then this right here, this is what I'm concerned about there. You have the really bright areas in here. It looks like even a little bit of blue in there. So getting, and it's also really close. Sometimes you'll see the green and the red kind of separated from each other a little bit, but when it's right like that, from one pixel to the other, just like that, likely seeing some very tight spinning fast winds as well. The brighter the colors there, the faster the wind. So that concerns me right there with this system. We know the atmosphere is supportive of some very strong storms, and that threat does take us now to the south through the Red River Valley here into Texas as well, where the latest tornado watch has been issued. That is in effect until 9 o'clock, and a lot of lightning showing up, and we're starting to see more lightning showing and giving you an idea that we're seeing more activity. Things are starting to go here, if you will, along Interstate 20 west of the Fort Worth area, but east of Abilene, Texas. So we'll not be surprised at all if we start to get some warnings in these areas, and then eventually as this whole system moves into an atmosphere that is still conducive for some severe weather, likely to see more watches, more warnings during the overnight hours tonight into Louisiana and into Arkansas. Unseasonably warm air. Think spring. Essentially, that's what we're dealing with here. So the threat for severe weather, we talk about severe weather, either large hail, damaging winds, or tornadoes. It is very likely, Jackie, this is a significant threat we're dealing with. Yeah. I mean, this would be a big deal if we were just still in the possible category, but we have likely and very likely on there. So we're very confident we're going to see more severe weather into tonight.
Definitely, and a bigger deal too that we're adding in threats like ice, we're adding in threats like heavy snow and strong winds that can cause a lot of damage too. So that was what's happening right now with the active weather, but we want to give you a picture of the larger view so you have an idea of what to expect in other parts of the country of this storm. And so there you can see kind of an elongated area of precipitation stretched out from the deep south into even the northeast already, but this is the storm that really has the energy. This is the storm that's going to take over and be progressive. Now, the good news is that it's fast moving. The bad news is that it's going to have some very serious impacts, including that severe weather risk that Chris was just talking about. There's the area where we're expecting severe weather today, most likely in the dark purple area. Tornadoes, certainly a possibility, but far-reaching, widespread, damaging winds also expected with the line of storms that's going to develop and progress eastward. So storms will be ongoing when you wake up tomorrow morning. across parts of Louisiana and into Mississippi, and that line of storms will head eastward throughout the day and will make its way across Alabama. It will make its way across Georgia, eventually go into the Carolinas by Sunday morning. Now, we also have a risk of some flash flooding. Our ground is saturated here. In some cases, we have frozen ground still, and we've got elevated rivers. So when you put a lot of heavy rain that's stretched out across the area like a fire hose, just kind of aiming that across the region, we could get a handful of inches of rainfall leading to urban flooding, but also some river flooding. And last but certainly not least, we could see some really significant snowfall totals as well as some icing totals. Very concerned about the ice in Michigan, and we could see some really heavy snow across southern Wisconsin and in the eastern parts of Iowa. All right, we want to turn our attention now back to the severe weather risk. Dallas, one of the places we are concerned about under a tornado watch right now. Our Tevin Wooten is there live. And Tevin, we're starting to see storms fire up off towards your west. What are conditions like where you are?
Well, Jackie, wet, windy, and wild in terms of today's forecast for the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. In fact, winds sustained right now between 15 and 20 miles per hour. The winds obviously coming out of the south as we are ushering in the moisture from the south, southwest, and the southeast as well. Here's towards the north, though. You can really see the skyline and the expansive view of downtown Dallas and areas in between. Also, the American Airlines Center here as well. You can sort of look at the home of the Mavericks and also the Stars and see how gusty the winds are right now. If you look at those flags, they are, again, very some of the strongest winds today, between 25 and 30 miles per hour in terms of gusts that we've seen so far. The temperatures are mild or relatively warm. We've got high temperatures today between 65 and maybe even closer to 73 miles per hour. But we were talking about the low-level jet. This will really drive a lot of the moisture that we will see ultimately breaking away at the cap that we have in the atmosphere here as that moisture streams in from the south. Very indicative of these fast-moving clouds right now. And that's really the scene that I've seen all day long, and even last night when I got here. Yesterday when I landed, I was able to see partly cloudy skies, but the clouds were racing by, just whipping at an absolutely fast pace. And some of these storms that come through, they will whip by very quickly as well. Perhaps highway speed. We do have a torcon in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex of a 7. That's a 70% chance of a tornado within a 50-mile radius, just to get you through the timing. This afternoon and evening, the greatest chance to see some of those strong storms, not just here in downtown Dallas, but also northern suburbs as well, between Denton and Carrollton as well. Eventually, Chris, though, along I-30 and towards the north and east into Texarkana, Arkansas, and central Arkansas. Chris.
All right, Tevin Wooten, thank you so much. And we're going to continue to be checking back with you as things are starting to get going there in the Dallas-Fort Worth area with quite a bit of lightning getting closer to Fort Worth right now. I want to take a look at Shreveport, Louisiana, where it is now up to 72 degrees. And if you go outside right now, you might say, hey, something's different, and you'd be right. There is a serious threat for tornadoes today, a torcon of 7. That's a 70% chance of tornadoes within a 50-mile radius of any point. And in this case, the point is Shreveport and Bossier City. Now, we just talked to Tevin, who's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and things are getting going there. So what's happening right now is we're starting to get the sense that we may have that continuous, quasi-linear convective system that we're going to be watching here. This line of storms essentially going to get going. So once it does, whether it's right there or somewhere else, we're also going to be seeing some showers developing ahead of it. So you could have some severe thunderstorms that could have tornadoes that'll be fast movers ahead of a line. That line also could have damaging winds, and it could also have tornadoes associated with it. So the possibility that we get some storms ahead of time here, say 7, 8 o'clock in Shreveport or in Texarkana here in the Arklatex, we could see discrete cells ahead of it. Again, these could be fast-moving storms. It's now going to be dark as well, and then that line of storms will come rolling through, making for several hours potentially of some very messy and dangerous weather at a time when a lot of people are likely sleeping, the majority of people sleeping here during the overnight hours. So make sure you have a way to get your alerts. Some hit and miss storms I just showed you later on this evening, and then tonight is when some of the strongest storms are expected to move through the Shreveport and Bossier City area. And then a sign that we have a powerful front coming through. Look at this, 73 on this afternoon, going to 28 by Sunday morning. When you have, oftentimes, Jack, you go from one extreme to another.
Yeah.
in between is often a bumpy ride. Unfortunately, this bumpy ride is dangerous.
Yeah, that's what's happening in Oklahoma City right now, too. They're in the 70s, and just to the north and west, it's down into the 40s. So get ready for that bottom to drop out pretty quickly. We want to take you to Little Rock, another one of the cities that we're watching for the threat of severe weather, including tornadoes. You've got a Torcon of 5, Little Rock, and a lot of your active weather is going to come after dark and continuing through the overnight hours while you're sleeping. So Little Rock, just a big heads up that you need to have a way to be alerted while you're in bed tonight sleeping in case those warnings do get issued. And you can see some strong damaging winds, but tornadoes also possible. Right now you got 63 degrees and light rain. You can see just a little blurb of a couple of showers trying to work their way through the region, but the main storms and the main area of severe weather still far to your north and west, closer towards Fayetteville. Let's time it out for you hour by hour here in the Little Rock Metro. So a couple of light showers or sprinkles can be expected through the PM rush. You should be fine getting home from work today. You should be fine getting the kids home from school today, but be home by 9. I think that's a good time to kind of have in mind, because after that, then the risk really goes up. And a few of these individual storms that Chris was talking about could be out ahead of the main line, and then the big show comes on through maybe around midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, heading eastward. This is going to be tracking right along I-40. Very dangerous to be traveling during those hours. And then a few spotty showers will continue into the early morning for your Saturday, but the severe weather threat then goes away. We do have new warnings being issued right now, so let's get back to Chris for more on that. Chris?
Yeah, I want to get back to the latest warnings that we are continuing to track. And once again, it is here across parts of Oklahoma where we look and see the red outlined areas that show us the latest tornado warning, McIntosh and Muskogee counties. If these counties sound familiar, these storms have been coming over and over again through this part of Oklahoma, through the northeast part of Oklahoma. And again, when we look at the velocity, wow, look at that. You see the green pretty bright there next to some pretty bright red. That is where the tornado is likely to be, these radar indicated tornadoes. And these storms are moving off to the northeast. Again, McIntosh and Muskogee counties here. This line in effect until 2:15. Going to be near Warner around 2:18 if this does hold together. And also, I believe we're looking at the old warning. So the new warning actually is probably in effect a little bit later, 2:45 here as Dominic goes ahead and moves up a little bit. So there it is, 2:45. So just watching these storms going from one county to another, and having to see these rotating storms get multiple warnings on it. These storms do have the potential for being long-lived, and that, of course, is a danger because it just gives it a chance, more of a chance to hit more locations, unfortunately, here. This tornado warning in effect for Delaware County. And you can see it right here, getting closer to the Arkansas border. But most of the storms that we've been watching here have been going through the eastern part of Oklahoma, and the other warnings have been going into Missouri. Don't see a lot of red. Oh, well, there it is. Looks like the little bit of red is on the outside of that warning there as we're watching the spin associated with these storms. So a couple areas of spin associated with that system. At least that's what it looked like. The threat for more tornadoes will continue during the overnight hours. We'll continue to update you on tornado watches as they're issued from the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma. But the Dallas-Fort Worth area down to Waco under tornado watch till 9. This tornado watch is in effect until 6. And Jackie, here we go. The threat for severe weather is still with us as we're tracking multiple issues, but the most imminent threat right now, damaging winds and tornadoes here across Oklahoma and Missouri.
Yeah, we're starting to get some new images and video into the Weather Channel of some of the nasty storms that have been rolling in across parts of Oklahoma. This is in the Muskogee area, and you can definitely see a lowering there in some of the cloudiness. So far, there have been little to no reports of any damage, but around Muskogee, there were reports of some power lines that were arcing and causing issues on the southwest side of town. So indicative of the strong winds that blew through to go along with these storms. So knowing where your safe place is and getting there quickly could mean the difference between life and death over the next 48 hours. Alex Wilson now with the safest places to take shelter in any home.
If you must stay, you'll need to prepare beforehand. The light weight that makes mobile homes easy to move is also what makes them unsafe in severe weather. It's best to make your mobile home not so mobile by anchoring it to a concrete foundation. The next best option is to attach the home to beams driven into the ground. Anchor down any outdoor structures like swing sets or sheds. Use metal brackets to anchor furniture to the wall. Add wires or cables to secure larger objects like fridges or water heaters. Remember, your best defense is early warning. Make sure you have a weather radio. Single-story and two-story homes are quite similar. You'll want to stay as close to the ground as possible. Basements are ideal, but if that isn't an option, stay on the ground floor. Hallways and closets under the stairs can be good choices. Make sure you're away from doors, windows, and outside walls. No matter what type of house you live in, your safest bet in severe weather is an underground shelter.
And the need for shelters and to take cover does exist through tonight and beyond. This is where severe and dangerous weather is very likely into tonight.
If your family is anything like this, you need quality floors from Empire Today. Like durable carpet with built-in stain and pet protection. Tough wood laminate with a scratch-resistant finish. Or waterproof vinyl plank floors. Even bath time is no match. And when life happens, Empire backs every floor with great warranties. Quality floors you can count on. That's Empire Today.
800-588-2300 Empire Today. Guys, if you wake up feeling fat, bad back, heartburn, tired, then it's time to get healthy and lose weight with Nutrisystem for Men.
Once I lost the weight, everything else fell into place. I'm healthier, I'm stronger.
Not only did I lose 60 pounds, but I feel incredible. I don't snore.
My doctor told me I needed to lose weight. Nutrisystem helped me lose 105 pounds.
Lose up to 18 pounds and 8 inches overall in your first month. Lose weight fast, money back guaranteed. It's a fact. Junk in, junk out. That's why you feel and look terrible. Nutrisystem for Men is designed specifically to burn fat so you can start to feel great. Order now and we'll rush you Nutrisystem for Men. Plus 1 week of protein-packed probiotic shakes to bust that gut free.
I'm healthy and in the best shape of my life.
Act now. Buy 1 month, get 1 free.
What do you have to lose? I know. The weight.
Go online or call 877-871-FIT1 right now. Buy 1 month, get 1 free.
With moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's, your plans can change in minutes. Your head wants to do one thing, but your gut says, not today. If your current treatment isn't working, ask your doctor about Entyvio. Entyvio acts specifically in the GI tract to prevent an excess of white blood cells from entering and causing damaging inflammation. Entyvio has helped many patients achieve long-term relief and remission. Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Entyvio may increase risk of infection, which can be serious. PML, a rare, serious, potentially fatal brain infection caused by a virus, may be possible. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, experience frequent infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Liver problems can occur with Entyvio. Ask your doctor about the only GI-focused biologic just for ulcerative colitis and Crohn's. Entyvio, relief and remission within reach.
You haven't seen the sun in like forever, so you search for a beach vacation. Sunny beaches, sandy beaches, big beaches, small beaches, until you're lost, searching for surfing dogs. But then you find Vrbo, and they search millions of homes to find you the perfect beach house, where you all find your own rooms, and a grill bigger than your kitchen back home. And finding out about the girl he likes at school warms your heart even more than the sun. From beach houses to cabins to condos, travel better together with Vrbo.
This is Kate.
Hey.
She takes 2 prescriptions. Kate's son Jack takes 1 too. Kate works hard and thought she had good insurance, but she still pays too much. That's no good. So Kate downloaded the GoodRx app. Now she can compare prescription prices to find the best discounts. She even beats her insurance price. Good for you, Kate. Good for you. GoodRx. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Download the free app today.
It's the biggest season yet. Don't miss all new episodes of Highway Through Hell, Sunday nights at 8, here on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 52 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, partly cloudy early, followed by cloudy skies overnight. Low 48. Winds southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, cloudy, high 61. Winds south-southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, windy with rain late, low 58. Chance of rain 80%. Winds could occasionally gust over 40 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
All right, check it out. We've got some new video in here to the Weather Channel of what was a tornado-warned storm as it moved through Muskogee, Oklahoma. You can see the ominous-looking clouds, some lowering there. There are also some reports of arcing power lines on the southwest side of Muskogee. You can hear the sirens that are going off there as well. So no real damage to report with that one, but Muskogee, an area we really need to keep our eye on because they're continuing to be under a tornado warning right now. And I do think the area of the storm that's going to be rotating is going to stay to the south and east of Muskogee. It's right within this area right here, but the county itself now under the tornado warning until 2:45. So Doppler radar is indicating what was some tighter rotation. You can see it has broadened out a little bit more right now, but a lot of times these storms will tighten up and then they'll cycle out and they'll re-tighten back up once again, and sometimes even in another little place. So that's an area that we're watching just to the north and east of Warner for a potential tornado touchdown. I would take this storm very seriously. Get to the lowest level of your home, away from doors and windows, and stay in your safe place until this expires. Warner, this pushes through, just north of Warner now. McLean, 224, heads towards Braggs at 234. This all holds together, so you can see Muskogee kind of on the end of this, but there's a chance that this storm could grow in size a little bit, and you could get some heavy downpours and some thunder and lightning. So notice this whole area across eastern parts of Oklahoma expanding in coverage now in terms of thunderstorms, and we're getting somewhat of a line that's trying to develop here that could intensify. Want to take you down now to our new tornado warning that was just issued just in Atoka County there, including the city of Stringtown. So that's our latest warning. There are multiple severe thunderstorm warnings surrounding this, so don't be shocked to get the damaging winds, but we are seeing some signs now of rotation within that area. So that is pushing off towards the north and east. Mostly storms moving between 30 and 50 miles per hour. So that's a pretty good clip right now that the storms are moving. It looks like we could potentially have a little bit of rotation down there near the Colgate area too. So if you're in those severe thunderstorm warnings, take those seriously today as well. This is a look at what's going on in the northwestern parts of Arkansas. All of the warnings in this region have been allowed to expire, but we're still seeing some pretty intense thunderstorms within this area. They're bringing some really heavy rain. So tornadoes today could be obscured in rain, meaning you might not be able to see them. So just trust the warning when that goes off and get to your safe place. So we've got a couple of watches that have been issued. The first one covers about the eastern half of Oklahoma until 6 o'clock. Some of these western counties within the next hour or two are probably going to drop off as the cold front is already beginning to push through. Temperatures out here west of Oklahoma City are now down into the middle 40s, while Oak City itself still holding at 70 degrees. So it really gives you an idea of the contrast that we're seeing of seasons across the area. We also have a tornado watch in effect for much of northern Texas. This is right along the I-35 corridor, including Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. This goes down towards the Waco area and stops just short of the Huntsville area. But with time, as we head later into today and tonight, we'll very likely see more watches that will get extended farther off towards the east. So here's the main area that we're watching. Right now we're getting some of those individual storms that are developing, but that line is trying to get going, and that will develop and march eastward all the rest of the day through tonight and even into tomorrow morning. So a lot of folks, especially toward Shreveport and Little Rock, need to be on alert and have a way to be awakened in the overnight hours while they're sleeping tonight. And that's what's happening severe-wise right now, but we also have some wintry conditions today.
Yeah, this in Wichita, Kansas. Listen and see what we understand here. It looks like you've got some heavy rain coming down, but it sounds just a little bit different. And do you hear that? Faintly? Thunder and some sleet. I think there is some rain in here, but also some sleet. And normally this would be surprising, but the way the atmosphere is set up right now and what we're seeing right now, I don't think much is going to surprise us here with so much going on. A potent system, Winter Storm Isaiah with its severe side. As we look at this, you can see a huge area. This is over the next couple of days, severe weather, and over the next couple of days, there is going to be some heavy snow. And in between this zone, things are going to be interesting, that there could be some freezing rain, possibly crippling freezing rain event for parts of Michigan and some areas in severe weather right now with watches and severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings. There could be snow in some of these areas in a matter of hours. As we look at the latest alerts, watches and warnings stretching from Texas to Michigan, 5 to 8 inches possible for many locations, and the snow is falling right now. Cold air coming in and warm air is going up, depending on which side of the front you're on. St. Joe there at 31. Kansas City is right at the freezing mark, and there's severe weather to the south. Let's see how this plays out throughout the rest of the afternoon into the evening hours. Severe weather moves east as snow moves in. There's that snow by Saturday morning across parts of eastern Oklahoma and into Missouri. Therefore, the Weather Channel is dedicated to keeping you and your family safe during this event. We'll be on an hour early tomorrow on AMHQ and going through the night tomorrow night. Keep it tuned in here to the Weather Channel for all-day coverage.
Attention anyone on Medicare. 2020 Medicare Advantage plans are now available. Did you know you may now be eligible for additional Medicare-approved benefits, including dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage? The toll-free Medicare Benefits and Questions line is now open to help anyone on Medicare make sure you are getting the benefits you deserve. Just call 800-796-6120 now to find out if you're eligible for a Medicare Advantage plan that includes additional benefits like free hearing aids, free eyeglasses, free meal delivery, and free rides to medical appointments. You may also be eligible for $0 monthly premiums, $0 deductibles, or no copays. Just call the toll-free number on your screen now to see if you qualify for additional benefits. There is no obligation to enroll. The call and Medicare benefits review are absolutely free. Did you know you may be eligible for additional benefits with a Medicare Advantage plan that includes additional benefits like dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage, free hearing aids, free eyeglasses, free meal delivery, and free rides to medical appointments? Just call 800-796-6120 now to find out if you're eligible for a Medicare Advantage plan that includes additional benefits like dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drugs. You may also be eligible for $0 monthly premiums, $0 deductibles, or no copays. Just call 800-796-6120. 2020 Medicare Advantage plans are now available. Just call the toll-free number on your screen now to make sure you're getting the benefits that meet your needs. There is no obligation to enroll. The call and benefits review are absolutely free. Just call 800-796-6120. That's 800-796-6120. Call 800-796-6120.
So Dish lets you share your TV with your family on multiple devices. Why?
Sweetie, forgot something.
Thank you. Because we know one thing's for sure. It's a little less scary leaving home when you can take a little bit of it with you.
Share your TV on 5 devices, no extra charge. Dish, tuned in to you.
Frisky's World. Whoa, so many choices. Look, extra gravy. And Lil Soups.
There's the shreds.
Yeah, Friskies has it all.
I want it all. Can I have it all?
Feed their fantasy.
This is Victoria.
And this is her Ring alarm.
And it saved my life.
Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, and I can show you too. As soon as Ring called to tell me my alarm had gone off, I looked at my Ring camera and I told him some guy was breaking in my window. But Ring alarm was there for me, and by the time I got home, the cops had him.
Glad we were there for you, Victoria.
Me too, Shaq.
To see Victoria's story and learn about complete home protection for just $10 a month, go to ring.com.
Now only at Domino's for $7.99 each, you can carry out all 5 crust options with any 3 toppings.
Yeah, I don't do gluten.
Right.
Try adding gluten-free crust to the invite list, or carry out any of our 5 crusts for just $7.99 every day, only at Domino's.
As a struggling actor, I need all the breaks that I can get. At Liberty Buchamode.
Cut.
Liberty Bibbity.
Cut. We'll dub it.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Get back to some breaking news right now, getting you caught up on some of the latest warnings that we're tracking here. These are tornado warnings and some severe thunderstorm warnings right now. The latest one that we're looking at right here. Well, we have another one for Texas we'll get to in just a moment. But first, we're looking in Missouri, where there is a tornado warning right now. This is north of Springfield. This tornado warning here that we are currently looking at as we zoom in right now is in effect for southeastern Cedar County. This, of course, in the southwest part of the state, and for western west central Polk County here in Missouri. This storm is moving to the northeast around 35 miles an hour, and you can really see, based on the winds that are going in opposite directions close to each other, where that center of circulation likely is, or where that tornado likely is, and the direction it is moving. Again, this storm is moving off to the northeast, and it's moving on at a good clip, around 35 miles an hour. So it's moving along pretty quickly here. Again, this one is in effect until 3 o'clock, and if it does hang together, fair play at 2:36. Dunnigan it'll be there about 56. So we're talking about either 6 to 20 minutes, depending on where you are. And then as we look here back in Oklahoma, north of Interstate 40, and again looking at a tornado warning near Muskogee. We're watching this line right here. This warning is in effect for about another 15 minutes or so, and it is moving to the northeast at 30 miles an hour. And this storm, as you look at it, we try to get a closer look at the reflectivity. We look at things, try to figure out if we see a little bit of a hook in there. And based on that, in addition to seeing where the colors, the green and the red, are going in opposite directions, that helps us get an idea of where the spin is with that one. And then here also in the southeast portion of Oklahoma, a couple of tornado warnings in effect as well. And we're going to go down and take a closer look at this one. Again, there's the one in Muskogee, just kind of doing a little recap right now. And a little bit farther to the south here, this particular tornado warning that is in effect for Stringtown here. This one is in effect for about another 15 minutes as well. But this one right here is moving along. It's clipping along to the northeast around 55 miles an hour. So some of these storms are coming so fast, you're not going to have much time at all to react. So you take these warnings as they are, as they come, and you immediately go to your safe location here if you're within any of these areas. And well within some of these areas right now are the severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings that we are currently tracking right now. And we'll continue to track. The watches are in effect all the way down south of Waco, including the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Conditions remain favorable here into the nighttime hours. I want to get back here to the radar. I mentioned that new tornado warning here in Cook County, right along the border with Oklahoma. Interstate 35 is going to be a pretty nasty drive, potentially for hours here between Oklahoma City down into the Dallas-Fort Worth area. This tornado warning is in effect until 3:15. Again, this is Central Time that we're looking at here. And this tornado warning again is north of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. This particular storm is moving north, so pretty much due north at 45 miles an hour. These storms here really just the beginning of what could be and what we are expecting to be a very long night of severe weather. Individual storms followed by what's going to be a line of thunderstorms that will be moving across the south.
All right, flooding, another risk that goes along with this. And we've got some new video just into the Weather Channel from Chickasaw, Oklahoma, where heavy rain from Isaiah has brought some flooded streets here. The city picking up about 2 inches of rain over the last 2 hours. Doesn't look terribly deep here. But, of course, always keep in mind your safety rules. If you can't see the roadway, if you can't see that it's an inch or less deep, right, you don't want to drive through it, turn around, don't drown, find an alternate route. It's never worth the risk. So the rain is really heavy in some of these thunderstorms, and they're going to repeat themselves over some of the same areas. And we've got a real stretched out, a real elongated area of precipitation. And, you know, good way to go here with 24 hours or better of moisture that's going to be pushing in across some of these regions. So we've got more than 40 million people under some type of flood alerts for the threat of urban flooding, that flash flooding, but also some river flooding, because some of the rivers, especially in the Ohio Valley and the Middle Mississippi River Valley, are already elevated. And we're talking about a lot of rain coming in along with that. That warm air surging in with a lot of moisture, bringing those spring type conditions. And we could be seeing as much as 1 to 5 inches of rainfall before all is said and done. There's a look at forecast river gauges.
The stories of the men and women in the military who have sacrificed so much for us are fading from the headlines. Many of these brave heroes came home with injuries that changed their lives forever. But for some service members, the greatest casualty is being forgotten.
As a father, I'm eternally grateful to Wounded Warrior Project. They've been with us throughout our journey. It was a tough road.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you'll help provide free, life-changing programs and services to injured veterans and family members.
One of the biggest concerns that my husband and I had was what was going to happen to our son when we were no longer here. Wounded Warrior Project is going to be there for the long haul. It provides such peace of mind to know that Alan's not in this alone.
To join the Advanced Guard monthly giving program, call or go online with your gift of just $19 a month, and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
You've helped me, and it's very much appreciated. I'm just one of many. Please don't stop giving.
That kid is an amazing young man.
I wish I could write a thank you letter to every American that has supported Wounded Warrior Project and the work that they do. They're changing lives.
Now is the time for healing and recovery. But many of these wounded service members can't do it alone. They need your help, and they need Wounded Warrior Project. Call or go online at honorwarriors.org and support our wounded warriors today.
Because of my teeth, I learned to do things from a distance. We just never talked about it.
Having a dental problem is a huge barrier. The love I feel for him, I want to make sure that he was happy.
And that's when we started talking. Then I looked into the dental implant process. Now I had an option.
At ClearChoice, we believe in more of a permanent solution.
There's an alternative to dentures. With ClearChoice, it's a very fine art and science mixed.
Everything is in one facility.
We're able to do all that all in one day. You start the healing process with your teeth.
Now she's smiling and I smile back. And now we connect. That made everything worth it. That was the new beginning for us, for a long, healthy life.
Tonight, we stop and smell the paprika. We break bread with our favorite people and break out of our food ruts. To us, Healthy means connecting with our food through every chop, dice, season, and sear, and knowing exactly what goes into each meal. All from the comfort of home. With Blue Apron, skip the stress of meal planning and just enjoy living a healthy lifestyle. Visit BlueApron.com TV60 to get $60 off. Blue Apron, feed your soul.
The first full week of 2020 ringing in with a bang. Welcome back into the Weather Channel's continuing coverage of Winter Storm Isaiah. I'm meteorologist Tevin Wooten. Coming along with this winter storm, we do have the threat for severe weather, especially here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. I want to show you the skies right now. Earlier today, they were a bit darker, and we do have low clouds rolling in right now. But I want to show you something. You see that bit of blue sprinkled throughout? Here, that is on a day like today, that is not a good thing because of the atmospheric setup. We already have the wind shear, the strong low-level flow coming in with the moisture as well. The dew points are in the upper 60s right now. You walk outside, you feel this air. You know that today is perhaps a winter's day, but it feels almost like a spring day. What those blue skies will do in the breaks in the clouds on a day like today, that adds more fuel to the fire, more instability to the mix, and could certainly spark more thunderstorms here in the coming hours. Let's get indoors right now to Jackie Jarris. She's got the latest on tornado warnings occurring at the moment. Jackie.
All right, Tevin, thanks so much. Yeah, north of Dallas, we've got a line of storms that's been developing here, one of which is rotating, and this is in Cook County, and we're getting reports now that storm spotters have seen a rotating wall cloud on that storm right there, and this is just to the north and west of I-35. It's in a pretty rural area. That's the good news, but notice how active this entire line is. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings all along it. So here are the details on that one. Cook County, including the city of Lindsay. This is until 3:15. So there's I-35. The storm is moving up towards the north and the east. So notice the yellow box that we have, an extension outside of this. It includes you in Marietta. If that rotation holds together, just keep in mind that that's what's going your way. In addition to that, we're also seeing some pretty bright radar returns indicating there's probably some pretty good hail within that storm. So there's the area that we're talking about where we're seeing some of that rotation just to the west of Thackerville. So that is likely the spot where they're seeing that rotating wall cloud. Or get to your safe place, lowest level of your home, away from doors and windows. Back into the state of Oklahoma now as we cross the Red River. This tornado warning, including Ataka, remains in effect until the top of the hour. And then north of there, we're looking at two different tornado warnings. This one new and taking over, including you in the Pettit area. Eldon and Park Hill under the tornado warning until 3:15. Again, that storm moving pretty rapidly up towards the north and to the east. So here's the area of rotation. You can see we had the warning in the county to the south and west of there. And now this is going to be taking over. But we are seeing very bright returns here on the radar, right where that green or bluish color and the red come together. That's a strong side of some of that rotation. So a tornado could very easily drop out at any time. So we want to track this one for you, as this is looking like the most dangerous storm right now. This moves into Pettit at 2:52, head towards Greene County Estates or Country Estates at 2:58, and then makes its way towards Eldon at 3:09 local time. So definitely practice your safety rules. Get to the lowest level of your home, away from doors and windows. An interior room, a lot of times a bathroom is a good place, or a stairwell is a good place. And then we've got this one warning we've been tracking for a while here in the state of Missouri. Just to put it in perspective, there's 49 and there's 44. So it's just kind of in a little triangle, so to speak, in between those two, to the north and west of Bolivar. This is for Polk County. This includes you in the Flemington area. This is until 3 o'clock local time, and we're seeing a real good indication we have for a while now with this storm of some good rotation. So we'll have to see if we get any ground truth with that one. I'm sorry, I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce that name, if it's Cliquay or Cliquot. Potentially, if you live there, you need to be getting to your safe place now. Rondo at 2:50, Adonis at 2:56. So very active afternoon. We've seen a big uptick just in the last hour of the number of warnings that we've had. And of course, that tornado watch staying in effect 6 o'clock here, 9 o'clock south of the Red River. Chris?
That tornado watch extends into Missouri, a place that's also going to have to deal with snow and ice along with the rain and severe weather. Todd Miller joining us from Missouri's Department of Transportation, talking the snowy side of things right now. What's the latest there, Todd? We appreciate you joining us again. How are things going right now, and what's the plan going forward?
Well, we're starting to see some change in the winter precipitation in the northwest part of the state. and just getting heavy rains throughout the rest of the state, which makes this a real challenging winter event to deal with. Treating in advance of the storm is really not practical with that much rain coming in. We'll just lose whatever chemicals we do put down. So we really just have to be on alert and be ready. And as this makes a change over to winter precipitation and ice and snow, begin responding at that point.
And as we're looking at the map right now, it's amazing to see, Todd, in Columbia it's 58 degrees, and just to the west in Kansas City it's 32. How do these variable conditions affect how you plan and how you deal with it as it's happening?
Yeah, as this unfolds, we know it's generally going to be coming in from the northwest and working its way kind of in a southeasterly direction. So really, it's just we have situational awareness calls that we participate in and make sure everybody has the materials that they need and the equipment that they need, and so they can respond to this event in the appropriate manner. So it's really just a lot of planning in between our various area districts and making sure that we keep everybody safe on the roads.
Todd Miller with the Missouri Department of Transportation. We appreciate the update, and it's a tough task. It's a big job there across parts of Missouri. Also from Missouri up to Illinois and into Michigan, ice, a very real concern, possible power outages.
Declutter, put away, and organize at the Store More, Save More event. Buy in store or online and pick up in store. It's a good time to be a doer. This Husky heavy-duty shelving unit is just $99.98. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
If you have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, flakes can be a reminder of your struggles with the symptoms. That's why there's Illumia. With just 2 doses, a majority of people were clear or almost clear.
Don't use if you're allergic to Illumia or any of its ingredients. Before starting treatment, your doctor should check for tuberculosis and infections. Illumia may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them.
This could be your chance to leave your psoriasis symptoms behind. Ask your doctor for Illumia today for a clearer tomorrow.
Do you have concerns about mild memory loss related to aging? Prevagen is the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand. You can find it in the vitamin aisle in stores everywhere. Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
So my last job...
When you're looking to hire, you can find just the right person on Indeed. Indeed gives you tools like online skills tests, which help a candidate show they are the right hire. We'll also give you this groundhog that will come out when the right candidate appears.
Great, you got the job.
Okay, there's no groundhog, but skills tests for sure. Try skills tests free when you post your job at Indeed.com/groundhog.
At Southern New Hampshire University, we're committed to making college more affordable. That's why we're keeping our tuition the same through the year 2021. I knew SNHU was the place for me when I saw how affordable it was. Find your degree at snhu.edu.
Sensitive skin? Cetaphil Moisturizing Cream with 24-hour moisture lock formula gives continuous soothing relief for dry, sensitive skin. Cetaphil skin is healthy skin.
What will you do when the power goes out? Power outages can be unpredictable, inconvenient, and disruptive to your life. But with a Generac home standby generator, your life goes on uninterrupted because you'll have power when you need it the most.
24 days we were without power. I had water, I had ice, I had coffee, I had air conditioner. I was able to stay here because of the Generac.
Get the safety, security, and peace of mind your family deserves with a home standby generator from Generac. 8 out of 10 home generators are Generac, with thousands of satisfied customers.
Very good product. Very, very good reviews from everybody.
Prices start at just $19.99, and special financing is available with surprisingly affordable monthly payments. Call now to schedule your free in-home assessment, and you'll receive a 7-year extended warranty absolutely free. That's a $695 value. Call or go online today. Power your life with Generac.
Join Liana Brackett.
And here we go.
Paul Goodlow.
If you like that, I got more on the way.
And Dr. Greg Postel. Weekend mornings starting at 9 on Weekend Recharge.
Currently in our area, 53 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, partly cloudy early, followed by cloudy skies overnight. Low 48. Winds southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, cloudy, high 61. Winds south-southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, windy with rain late, low 58. Chance of rain 80%. Winds could occasionally gust over 40 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Breaking right now, tornado and severe thunderstorm warnings to tell you about right now from Texas to Missouri. And let's start off here in Texas. We were watching as these storms just started. We saw a few showers and thunderstorms, and now we are in a tornado warning situation. The newest one here is northwest of Dallas, and you can see some of the heaviest rain associated with it for parts of Wise County. Boyd, Decatur, and Paradise are the cities also within this area. And as we watch, these storms have been generally moving off to the north. And the spin associated with this, when you look at where the brightest greens and the brightest reds are, somewhere in here, and then a little bit farther to the north, getting closer to Oklahoma now, touching right up against the Red River and the border with Oklahoma, is this tornado warning in effect for Cook County. And if it holds together, it's going to be scooting right along Interstate 35, not the place you're going to want to be in the next several hours. You don't want to be really out at all the next several hours across parts of Texas, Oklahoma, and into Missouri because of that severe weather threat. And right now, we can see this one for parts of Adair and Cherokee counties. This tornado warning has a pretty bright return associated with it as we look somewhere right in there. If you're anywhere within this red outlined area, take cover right now. Here's a closer look at some of the timing for this. And you can see by 3 o'clock in Park Hill, and if it stays together, by 3:13 local time, Spade Mountain, and all points in between. Then here in Missouri, we just spoke with the Department of Transportation in Missouri. They're dealing with ice. And there's a tornado warning right here north of Springfield. So depending on where you are in the state, much, much different weather. Parts of Polk County, this tornado warning is in effect until 3 o'clock. And all of these areas right here in red is where the Storm Prediction Center has highlighted as conditions favorable for the development of tornadoes. So tornado watch is in effect in Oklahoma, Arkansas, down into Texas as well, where things are just starting to pop and get going with new warnings. Just last hour, we were seeing some showers and thunderstorms west of Fort Worth, and just like that, now have warnings that have been firing. And this associated with what is going to be a very active evening and nighttime. In fact, it is going to be going through tomorrow, but this is just taking you through tonight. There's that tornado threat goes into Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia tomorrow, but just getting through this night tonight, Jackie, got a very serious situation on our hands.
We do. So one of the areas that will likely see the severe weather coming at night tonight is going to be in Shreveport. And joining us now is Matthew Duplantis, and he's with the National Weather Service office there in Shreveport. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me, Jackie.
So we're expecting things are going to get really busy later. What are you most concerned about later on tonight?
We're concerned both with the damaging wind and tornado potential for our area, but the biggest underlying threat to both of them is that it's already starting now, and it's going to carry on into the overnight hours where we'll lose daylight and people will not be able to see what's coming.
How strong do you think the winds could be with these storms?
Right now, just 4,000 or 5,000 feet in the air, we're seeing 75, 80, 85 mile an hour winds. And if any of these thunderstorms are able to tap that energy and that wind, it'll be able to bring that down to the ground. So we can see some of that, especially across the Arklatex. And we're expecting a pretty significant damaging wind threat later on this evening.
Yeah, let's talk about kind of the nature of the storms, of what you're expecting in the hours ahead. I mean, will there be speckled storms first and then the big line coming through? Is that what your thinking is?
Right now, we're a little uncertain as to how much of those discrete or individual cells we'll see out ahead of the line. That's still a possibility, but definitely all indications are we're going to see a strong, severe line come through later on this evening during the overnight hours.
How long do you think this event could last?
It's just now beginning, especially for the Arklatex. So it's just on the cusp of entering what's considered our forecast area. And as it enters the Arklatex from the west, probably about near sunset, it's going to drag across our forecast area, the Arklatex, all the way through to well into the early morning hours.
All right, so folks need a way to be alerted while they're sleeping tonight. Thanks for the latest there, Matthew Duplantis with the National Weather Service in Shreveport, Louisiana. We want to get right to Chris. More warnings, Chris.
Yeah, more tornado warnings to tell you about. This in Oklahoma, the eastern part of the state right now. And this is where we have been watching warning after warning, whether it's been severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning, still firing up here around Interstate 40 north and south, as we see this one for portions of Haskell County here and McIntosh and Pittsburgh counties. And these are names we have said before as we're watching these lines of dangerous storms. Take cover right now if you are in these areas. Park Hill and Tahlequah, take cover right now.
Diarrhea? Pepto Diarrhea to the rescue. Its 3 times concentrated liquid formula coats and kills bacteria to relieve diarrhea. The leading competitor only treats symptoms. It does nothing to kill the bacteria. Treat diarrhea at its source with Pepto Diarrhea.
In an era of online retail where everything is just a few clicks away, buying a car should be no different. That's why at Carvana, you can buy a car 100% online. We made it easy to browse, view, and buy from over 10,000 cars. You can even trade in your old car, all while binge watching your favorite TV show. Afterwards, we'll deliver your car to you. Or you can pick it up from one of our car vending machines. Either way, your car comes with a 7-day return policy. So grab a seat, relax in your comfy pants, and enjoy the new way to buy a car at Carvana.
76% of 23andMe Health customers surveyed reported taking healthier actions because they know that health doesn't begin or end with a resolution. Health happens now. Get more than 150 personalized genetic reports from 23andMe.
Try Drive Up at Target. Delivered to your car door so you can do more. More splash. More style. More smile. Target run and done.
Attention anyone on Medicare. 2020 Medicare Advantage plans are now available. Did you know you may now be eligible for additional Medicare approved benefits, including dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage? The toll-free Medicare Benefits and Questions line is now open to help anyone on Medicare make sure you are getting the benefits you deserve. Just call 800-796-6120 now to find out if you're eligible for a Medicare Advantage plan that includes additional benefits like free hearing aids, free eyeglasses, free meal delivery, and free rides to medical appointments. You may also be eligible for $0 monthly premiums, $0 deductibles, or no copays. Just call the toll-free number on your screen now to see if you qualify for additional benefits. There is no obligation to enroll. The call and Medicare benefits review are absolutely free. Did you know you may be eligible for additional benefits with a Medicare Advantage plan that includes additional benefits like dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage, free hearing aids, free eyeglasses, free meal delivery, and free rides to medical appointments? Just call 800-796-6120 now to find out if you're eligible for a Medicare Advantage plan that includes additional benefits like dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drugs. You may also be eligible for $0 monthly premiums, $0 deductibles, or no copays. Just call 800-796-6120. 2020 Medicare Advantage plans are now available. Just call the toll-free toll-free number on your screen now to make sure you're getting the benefits that meet your needs. There is no obligation to enroll. The call and benefits review are absolutely free. Just call 800-796-6120. That's 800-796-6120. Call 800-796-6120.
Breaking right now on the Weather Channel, we have a very active afternoon underway here in eastern Oklahoma, where there are currently several warnings right now, severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings. We're going to start, though, just south of there in Texas, where north of the Dallas-Fort Worth area and parts of Wise County, there is a tornado warning in effect until 3:30. You can kind of get the idea right in there where the green and the red is close to each other, winds going in opposite directions where the rotation is with that. This one does have an observed tornado associated with it, the potential of ping pong size hail as well. So heads up if you're in this area right now and take cover. Adair and Cherokee counties again under that threat for a tornado. Seeing that rotation was pretty bright in there for a moment. Still some decent rotation associated with this. Keep in mind that these warnings, they come up in a hurry, as do these storms. So as soon as you get the warning, go to your safe location, your designated safe location, because these storms have been clipping along. We've been seeing them going anywhere from 30 to 55 miles an hour. That's the overall storm itself. And even we're talking a lot about these tornado warnings because they can be the most destructive. But the severe thunderstorm warnings also have the potential of bringing some very strong and possibly damaging winds. So if you are in a yellow outlined area or a red outlined area, take cover. Get away from the windows, interior-most portion of your home, underground if possible, if you have a basement. Otherwise, get away from the windows in a room that doesn't have windows, again, in the centermost point in your house. These warnings, a lot of these warnings happening where there are watches. Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma, issuing tornado watches for these areas until 9 o'clock across much of Texas here, the Dallas-Fort Worth area in Texas. I'm expecting this is going to increase as this system does move east. So if you're in the Arklatex in East Texas, you don't see the watches yet. We're talking about your tornado threat for tonight, and I would expect that you get watches later. So continue to follow the Weather Channel. Make sure you have a way to get your alerts, because we're starting to see things fire up here in East Texas. It didn't look too much different than what we saw a little bit earlier here, where we now have warnings. And you have the chance, once a line develops, a line of thunderstorms, and it looks like we might be on our way to seeing that, you may be seeing storms first and then another round of storms. And if you're unfortunate enough to be in parts of eastern Oklahoma where the storms have been going over and over again in some of the same locations. So we're watching this right here, but this is through tonight. This threat is going to be moving in this direction with individual thunderstorms potentially bringing tornadoes and damaging winds, large hail, and then the line of thunderstorms will be coming through. And right now we're still early in the game here. It is going to be a dangerous couple of days across the south in terms of severe weather. But just looking into Missouri, where there's a hint that there's something else going on. We've got a big system that's helping to generate the severe weather, but there's also a winter side to all of this that we are going to continue to cover. But we do want to break down what's going on location to location here in terms of severe weather. That's the imminent threat right now.
All right. Got some new video now that shows you some of the dangers that we've been seeing today in parts of the southern plain states. And take a look at that and listen. You hear the clunk, clunk. That is hail that is falling on that slide. You can see the big pieces. You know, Wichita, Kansas has had a lot of everything. They had storms that dumped heavy rain and hail. There was some street flooding at some intersections in town. And then on the north side of Wichita, we had thunder sleet. So they've been right on that cusp of seeing that transition and all different kinds of weather, all of which have been dangerous. So this is a very dynamic storm system, and it has far-reaching impacts and all kinds of different impacts, too. We've got severe across parts of the south. There you can see all the warnings that are lit up here. We've got snowy conditions, icy conditions, and new warnings that are being issued as we speak for tornadoes as well as for ice storm warnings now into lower parts of Michigan. The outlook area for today for the tornado threat continuing into tonight is primarily right here across the Arklatex region and stretching into Mississippi. This is the main danger zone for damaging winds and for tornadoes. We've got torcons as high as 7 in Shreveport. Storms are going to continue all night long, and when you wake up tomorrow morning, we'll have a line of storms somewhere within that area, and that is going to progress eastward throughout the day and has the potential to produce damaging winds all throughout that region. But we also have torcons for tomorrow as high as 5 at least. On top of that, we've got 47 million people under some type of a flash flood alert from Texas all the way up into the northeastern parts of the U.S. And then we have our winter weather alerts in the dark blue, where we have winter storm warnings, including Milwaukee, the Quad Cities, and Kansas City. And then there's those new ice storm warnings that have just been issued across parts of lower Michigan. We want to go back to our top story, what's breaking right now, and head to Dallas, Texas, where we're concerned about the threat of tornadoes. Our Tevin Wooten is there, and severe storms are firing up just to your north and west. Tevin, what's the latest in town?
Jackie, here in Dallas-Fort Worth and in the Metroplex, winds have been gusting today between 15 and 25 miles per hour consistently all throughout the day. Earlier this morning, we did have a few light sprinkles, but what I want to show you with the winds, though, because this atmosphere is very volatile today. This is a loaded gun setup for those weather enthusiasts out there and meteorologists that are watching. We do have the instability. We have very strong wind shear and also a very strong low-level jet. So that low-level jet is transporting moisture in from the Gulf of Mexico, and also a slight Pacific tap as well. And you can quite literally see this inflow here from the south and from the southeast. So as we go throughout the afternoon hours, we start to warm up the lower atmosphere and we start to moisten up the lower atmosphere. Then we overcome what's known as SIN, or convective inhibition, and the potential to start to see more severe thunderstorms. Some of the strongest storms today in the state of Texas already popping just to our west. We do have a tornado warning to the west of the Denton area as well, near Paradise too. So I do expect over the next, I would say, 35 to 45 minutes or so for that line of storms to race towards the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So as that happens, any sort of discrete cell that gets out ahead of that storm could potentially start to rotate. We do know that we have very strong wind shear, not just speed, but also directional shear as well, that could cause some of these storms to potentially rotate. So again, going throughout the afternoon hours, Dallas ISD has canceled after-school activities for students in the Dallas area, but also other school districts have followed suit as well. So do check, parents, if you have kids that are maybe at school right now, perhaps letting out fairly soon. Check just to make sure, because I know that obviously a lot of people are having sort of flashbacks, if you will, to just a few months ago where we had a tornado, a very strong EF3 tornado in the Dallas area and just north to in Richardson as well. So Chris, a very volatile day today in terms of the setup with this atmosphere here in Dallas, but again, other areas as well expected to see strong storms too.
Exactly right through tonight, starting there in Texas and Oklahoma like we're seeing it right now, and then continuing through East Texas into Louisiana, including here as well in the northwest part of the state in the Shreveport and Bossier City area. It is 73 degrees right now. Things are warm. It feels more like springtime here, and it's going to be a spring storm type of situation. Not only is it possible we're going to see some storms today, it is likely we're going to see storms, possibly some of the stronger storms with multiple opportunities for it. And already there in Tyler, Texas, showers and thunderstorms starting to pop up here. And getting into the Arklatex, the first round here of potentially stormy weather, and then eventually some severe weather. And let's talk about this. This is going to be another thing that we're going to be talking a lot about here on the Weather Channel, is here on the clock, going from 4 o'clock and then into the dark hours of this night. By 10 o'clock, we could see some of these individual or discrete thunderstorms going through. In fact, this high-resolution future radar puts one right in Texarkana. I wouldn't say 100% that's going to happen, but it's showing you that the atmosphere, according to the computer, is conducive. It's there. It's possible we could see a situation like this. So these individual storms here potentially coming first before this right here. And this is 10 o'clock. Even it's Friday, maybe you're going to bed a little bit later, but most, I would imagine, are going to be in bed by 1 o'clock. And here you go, potentially some very strong storms coming through during the overnight hours. That's something that I don't think we can hit hard enough, tell you enough, that make sure you have a way to get your alerts, be woken up by your phone or a weather radio if there's a tornado warning or even a severe thunderstorm warning that comes at you, because the potential that severe thunderstorm warning that could do damage and be deadly with trees coming down on homes, that's a possibility as well.
That's what I worry about with that squall line, right? Because winds could be 80+ miles per hour in that squall, and that can cause as much, if not more, damage than a tornado can. If you got lots of trees, huge trees surrounding your home.
Maybe heavy rain ahead of time, too. Getting the ground wet, loosening up the roots.
Right. So it's always a good idea to check your trees in your yard, right? Make sure they're healthy. Make sure there's not damage on them. You don't have limbs that are, maybe vulnerable. You want to cut those down. And you still have a little time to do that if you live in a place like Little Rock, because we're still looking at most of the storms well off towards your west. No watches in effect for you right now for severe weather. We're expecting you're going to be under a tornado watch later on tonight or early tomorrow morning. Now, it has been reporting a little bit of light rain here and there. It's just a little drizzly, misty in Little Rock. But notice we're starting to get a few thunderstorms developing along the I-40 corridor around the Fort Smith area. That's just to the east of where those Oklahoma storms have been firing up and producing tornadoes today. Let's talk about the timing here now in the Little Rock area. We still have a few hours to go where we could see a spotty shower here or there and things are a little drizzly or a little misty from time to time. Then we head towards 9, 10, 11 o'clock for tonight, and we start to see thunderstorms beginning to develop. Now, there may be a few storms out ahead of the main line, and then that big line pushes through sometime likely between 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Notice it's off towards your east by 3 o'clock. It's crossing the Interstate 40 corridor. Spotty showers will then develop on the back side of this into your Saturday morning, but by that time, then the severe weather risk goes away well before lunch for tomorrow. So Little Rock, you're one of those areas that needs to be awakened with an alert if those warnings are issued. And something else too, Little Rock, you're under a flash flood watch. So if you live in a flood prone area, if you're vulnerable to that, it's a good idea, maybe check your street drains. Check around the area, make sure that they are clear. We could get 1 to 3 inches of rain easily across the Little Rock area, especially to the north end towards the east. So there you go. Look at your forecast. This is Friday night, few showers Saturday morning, but by midday Saturday, you're done with this. Look at your chilly temperatures. Down to the 20s, Chris.
And I think that's a testament to just how extreme of a system we're dealing with here. Going from one extreme to another. At times right in the middle of that changeovers when we get some really nasty bad weather. Memphis right now at 65 degrees. Nothing nasty about the traffic here, dry roads, but this can change in a hurry once some storms come rolling through. No threat in the immediate future. However, starting to get signs that things are about to get going here. When you start to see a little bit of lightning showing up, it's getting later in the afternoon, early evening, getting towards peak heating. And even before that line comes through, we're going to see some individual storms. This is also going to be another spot where it's an overnight deal. You may be woken up by the sound of either, and hopefully it's the alarms that you get first and not the storms themselves that are waking you up at 5 o'clock in the morning in Memphis. And these storms coming through during the early morning hours through the afternoon, things will be winding down, but a pretty big hit in this part of Tennessee. And as we look at the threats we have, again, damaging winds, lightning, heavy rain, Torcon of 3. If there is a Torcon issued for where you live, there is a tornado threat. And the larger the number, the greater the probability, the greater the threat, essentially. Memphis, Shreveport, and Bossier City, Dallas, Fort Worth. These are just the areas we're watching into the evening hours. This is just some of the areas that we are watching right now as we continue to get new video here into the Weather Channel. So we'll continue to bring you the very latest information. That is the latest right now on Memphis. You're also going to be seeing an extreme drop-off in temperatures from today, close to 70 to below freezing Sunday morning.
Yeah, some big changes ahead. We're starting to get some video in of some of the storms, and we want to take you to Muskogee, Oklahoma. This was a video that was shot a bit ago, and you can see the low-hanging clouds. This was a tornado-warned storm. No reports of an actual tornado, though, that moved through the city, but the sirens went off. There were reports of some power lines arcing on the southwest side of the city. And Muskogee, you've had a couple of different warnings, actually, already due to possible tornadoes in the last couple of hours. So it's been very active, and some of the storms are moving near the same areas. That's what we've been seeing across eastern parts of Oklahoma. But we want to fast forward this story because we're seeing that line developing now west of the Dallas Dallas-Fort Worth area. This is going to continue to march eastward through the evening and into the overnight hours, making its way towards Shreveport and Little Rock. Memphis, we're looking at that overnight early tomorrow morning. This is going to move through Mississippi, making its way through Alabama about the middle of the day and into the afternoon hours. So keep in mind that storms are going to fire up out of the gate. They're going to be ongoing, and that will progress eastward throughout the rest of the day and will likely make its way towards Nashville. Atlanta will likely get on the action as we head towards the evening hours, late afternoon, early evening, and then eventually making its way over towards the Carolinas late on Saturday night and into your Sunday morning. So tomorrow, damaging winds, the primary threat, but still some pretty significant Torcon numbers, and that includes a 6 across southern Mississippi and Alabama and southeastern parts of Louisiana. We have Torcons of a 5 for central Mississippi and Alabama, and then look at this. We still have 4s for northern Alabama and Mississippi and for the central Florida panhandle, including the Big Bend area. So multiple hazards will be ongoing for tomorrow and the threat of some flash flooding. Here you can see the timing of it through the day here on your Saturday. Lunchtime, Nashville, you got to be ready before that. Birmingham, be ready about 1, 2, 3 o'clock. Atlanta, be ready by 5, 6, 7 o'clock, and then we'll breathe a little easier.
My body is truly powerful.
I have the power to lower my blood sugar and A1C.
Because I can still make my own insulin. And Trulicity activates my body to release it, like it's supposed to.
Trulicity is for people with type 2 diabetes. It's not insulin. I take it once a week. It starts acting in my body from the first dose.
Trulicity isn't for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it, you or your family have medullary thyroid cancer, or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, or severe stomach pain. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, belly pain, and decreased appetite, which lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems.
I have it within me to lower my A1C.
Ask your doctor about Trulicity.
If you have moderate to severe psoriasis or psoriatic arthritis, little things can be a big deal. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not an injection or a cream. It's a pill that treats differently. For psoriasis, 75% clearer skin is achievable with reduced redness, thickness, and scaliness of plaques. For psoriatic arthritis, Otezla is proven to reduce joint swelling, tenderness, and pain, and the Otezla prescribing information has no requirement for routine lab monitoring. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Ready to treat differently with a pill? Otezla. Show more of you.
Through Ancestry, I learned so much about my grandparents that I never knew. I'm a lawyer now, but I had no idea that my grandfather was a federal judge in Guatemala. My grandfather used his legal degree and his knowledge to help people that were voiceless in his country. That put a fire in my heart. It made me realize where I got my passion for social justice.
Bring your family history to life like never before. Get started for free at Ancestry.com.
Doug.
And now, for their service to the community, we present Limu Emu and Doug with this key to the city.
It's an honor to tell you that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. And now, we need to get back to work. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Attention. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services has officially authorized new benefits that Medicare Advantage plans may include. To get the benefits you deserve, you can call the Medicare Coverage Helpline.
Hi, I'm Joe Namath. If you're on Medicare, this is important information. I called the Medicare Coverage Helpline and they instantly looked up my coverage. In this one simple call, they offered to enroll me in a plan that includes rides to medical appointments, private home aids, doctors and nurses' visits by telephone, and even home-delivered meals. The plan also includes dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage, all at no additional cost.
Don't delay. Call to see if the new benefits are available in your area.
Call the number on your screen now. It's free.
Call 1-800-346-4800. That's 1-800-346-4800 now.
Join Liana Brackett.
And here we go.
Paul Goodlow.
If you like that, I got more on the way.
And Dr. Greg Postel. Weekend mornings starting at 9 on Weekend Recharge.
Currently in our area, 53 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy this evening, then becoming cloudy after midnight. Low 48. Winds southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, overcast. High 61. Winds south-southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, windy with rain late. Low 58. Chance of rain 80%. Winds could occasionally gust over 40 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
New video just in. Listen to this. Yeah, that's the tornado sirens that were going off just a short time ago in Canadian Shores, Oklahoma. This is located just north of McAllister. There was a tornado warning that was issued in the area. It's been very active the last few hours over eastern parts of the state. You can see the rain coming down there and some low, dark-looking clouds. Very little in the way of confirmed tornadoes at this time, but we are getting a report now from the Tahlequah area that earlier there was a confirmed tornado there. So here you can see the active line with a couple of warnings remaining in effect, and we want to get right to that storm that was producing the tornado. So this is the area right here where radar confirmed there was a tornado, potentially with debris, and now that same storm is tracking north and east of there through Adair into Benton and Delaware counties. So this includes the cities of Eldon as well as Siloam Springs until 4 o'clock. So these storms are moving pretty quickly. We have been seeing some signs of rotation. You can see kind of where the red and the green are coming together there in a very broad area. Perhaps in there is the area that we need to most watch out for right now. But this is a storm certainly to watch, and you can see right there where we have the strong rotation that is weakened as of right now. But keep in mind, a lot of times these storms will tighten up. They'll weaken a little bit, but they can wrap right back up. So do take these warnings seriously today. 339 heading towards Flint. And if this holds together towards Gentry, it will be moving to your direction at 352. So here's another warning that we were talking about. Here's McAllister, by the way, very near where that tornado siren in that video went off. It was right near there. That storm is still on the move right now and continuing to produce some strong winds, likely some good hail with this. Look at those bright pink returns right in there just south of Interstate 40. So that is going to be tracking across the interstate right throughout that region, and we could be seeing a possible tornado with that as well. And then we want to take you down into Texas here. This is for Wise County, including Boyd, Decatur, and Paradise counties until 3:30. We are indicating a couple of different areas of rotation within that area of storminess. So get to your safe place, lowest level of your home, away from doors and windows until that expires. So the broader picture of all of this is that we do have a tornado watch, which has been issued now. This does include the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area. It stretches down 35, down towards Waco, and goes all the way up to the state of Oklahoma. So that watch until 9. Oklahoma, your watch goes until 6 o'clock for tonight and into northwestern parts of Oklahoma or Arkansas, including you in Fort Smith. So stay on alert. We've been seeing a lot of rain and quite a few warnings here in eastern Oklahoma. Now, the risk area is going to continue for the rest of today and into tonight. So we expect a line of storms to develop and track eastward. In addition to the line of storms that's developing right now, we'll see little individual storms that are going to develop out ahead of that. And those are the storms that will be a little bit more likely to produce tornadoes, the kind that can last a little bit longer and be a little bit more destructive. Within the line of storms that develops too, we're likely going to see little kinks in the storms within that line, and those could produce rotating storms and tornadoes as well, not to mention just damaging winds from that line that could exceed 80 miles per hour. So Shreveport tonight is the night, Torcon of 7. Dallas, you've got a Torcon of 5, and Little Rock, a Torcon of 5 as well. That's what's happening with the severe, but we also have extreme snow potentially and ice, Chris.
Associated with the same system. We're calling it Winter Storm Isaiah, and Winter Storm Isaiah does have this severe weather side that we're talking about. We're talking about the most imminent weather, the tornado warnings and the severe thunderstorm warnings that have been happening in these areas right here. But this overall system, the whole thing is going to be moving this way tomorrow and into Sunday. So this is the forecast, kind of the broad forecast here through Sunday, and we're showing you this because I want to contrast exactly what's going on up here. Potentially some heavy snow across Michigan, parts of Wisconsin, perhaps Illinois, and then into some of the same states that have been dealing with some strong storms. Do you have an ice storm warning now that is in effect for parts of New York and Michigan right here? This is where we've been thinking is our best chance for seeing some of the worst in terms of ice. Could see power outages here. We spoke with someone from the National Weather Service there in Michigan saying this could be a situation we could have power outages that last for days, unfortunately. Could be dealing with a crippling ice effect. Otherwise, it's 5 to 8 inches in these areas in purple. A big part of Wisconsin, including Milwaukee, over to Madison, could see a nice dose of snow. And then again, as we look here at the overall system and where some of the worst of the severe weather is, again, happening in a state like Missouri and in Nebraska, where there's another side to it. There's also the wintry side in some of the same areas here. So here's the snow that is coming down right now. Iowa starting to see some of the heavier snow and a little bit of snow moving through South Dakota and through Minnesota as well. There's a lot going on, so the Weather Channel is dedicated here to keep you safe. We'll be on early tomorrow morning, an hour early throughout the day and into the night tomorrow. Stay with us for continuing coverage.
They served with honor, survived the battlefield, and now they've come home. You can honor and empower those who have sacrificed so much.
I gave my leg for freedom.
I gave my family,
my marriage. I missed a lot of Christmases and birthdays. Even though it cost me my leg, I'd do it all over again. It was worth it. I'd do it all over again.
I'd do it again.
And again.
And again.
For many of our wounded service members, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. You can show you care.
Will you join with other patriotic Americans and support Wounded Warrior Project?
To join the Advanced Guard monthly giving program, call or go online with your gift of just $19 a month, and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket as a reminder of your commitment and the difference you will make in lives of so many people.
I saw the logo and I thought immediately, this is the organization for me.
The Wounded Warrior Project is giving you the tools and empowering you, going from the soldier that's being carried to the soldier that's doing the carrying.
I'm a mentor, I'm a facilitator, because I've been helped, so now it's time to give back.
It's a chain reaction, and it's all about helping each other.
We owe them so much, and I'm just thankful that Wounded Warrior Project is stepping up. And if you haven't found it in your heart yet to give to Wounded Warrior Project, I urge you to do so because it's a very noble cause.
Your support makes a difference.
Your support gives life.
Hope. When people send money to Wounded Warrior Project, it lets you know what the heart of America is.
Thank you for help making a difference in my life.
I'm eternally grateful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for supporting our nation's greatest heroes.
Now is the time to show your support. Please call Wounded Warrior Project or go online with your gift right now.
Searching for a beach vacation? Find it at Vrbo. They search millions of homes to find you the perfect beach house, where you all find your own rooms and some quality time to find out about each other. From beach houses to cabins to condos, travel better together with Vrbo.
Declutter, put away, and organize at the Store More, Save More event. Buy in store or online and pick up in store. It's a good time to be a doer. Get HDX Black and Yellow Family Tote starting at $4.98. The Home Depot. How doers get more done.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
With Domino's $5.99 mix and match deal, you can feed a family of 4 for about $3 per person.
My wallet.
Or your daughter can.
Keep the change.
Feed a family of 4 for about $3 per person with the $5.99 mix and match deal at Domino's.
Do you have concerns about mild memory loss related to aging? Prevagen is the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand. You can find it in the vitamin aisle in stores everywhere. Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
Timeless style is always in season. Expand your wardrobe this winter at Men's Warehouse. Sport coats start at $99.99. Designer suits start at $199.99. Plus shirts of 3 for $99.99. Only at Men's Warehouse.
Breaking right now on the Weather Channel, want to get to some of the active weather that we're following right now. By active, we're talking about severe weather. We are continuing to track and watch some of the more dangerous weather that we see right now as the more immediate threats. The warnings reminder here means that type of weather is either happening or it is about to happen. Watches mean conditions are favorable for this type of weather, and you would likely get warnings. So the warnings we're seeing right now extending from Texas to Oklahoma into parts of Arkansas now. You can see Bentonville, Fayetteville right here. This tornado warning is in effect for parts of Adair, Benton, and Delaware counties here until 4 o'clock Central Time. And as we look at this and you see the red and the green, the brighter colors closer to each other is where we likely have that circulation happening here. And then this one right here, this Haskell, McIntosh, and Pittsburgh tornado warning is in effect until 3:30. And then down here into Texas for parts of Wise County, we had the tornado warning as we're speaking here. It has been dropped by the National Weather Service. Denton, Parker, and Wise still, though, under a severe thunderstorm warning. And if we haven't said it enough, we want to remind you that flooding does remain a huge concern out of all of this. But there will be a lot of heavy rain, regardless of whether or not you get a warning, severe tornado, or a flash flood warning like we currently have there right along Interstate 35, just across the Oklahoma and Texas border on the Texas side. And then here, we have been watching the watches being posted by the Storm Prediction Center. The latest here, this severe thunderstorm watch, does sort of connect the dots here from the tornado watch that has been in effect here that went all the way down to Bell County, and the severe thunderstorm watch there on a 35 picks it up here in Williamson down into Travis County, going all the way down county or two away from the Mexico border. So this is associated with the overall system that I'm thinking we're going to eventually see a line be a little bit more obvious. We may be in the middle of seeing that right now with tornado watches in effect, and this threat does continue. So tornadoes remain a possibility. There's also a large hail threat and a very real possibility that some of the severe thunderstorms will have winds 75 to 80 miles an hour. That's strong enough to bring down trees and cause some damage on their own. And this goes through tonight. We're going to pick this up for tomorrow and overnight tomorrow as well for Mississippi, Alabama, and into Georgia. But we got to get through tonight. And a 7 out of 10 on our exclusive Torcon here at the Weather Channel for Shreveport and Bossier City. It's, again, a 7 is a 70% chance there will be a tornado within a 50-mile radius of Shreveport, of any point, really. So whatever corner you might be standing on there in Shreveport along the Red River, there's a 70% chance within 50 miles you'll see a tornado come through. It's a flip of a coin in Dallas and in Little Rock as well. So here's that threat for damaging winds. Pretty much wherever you have the chance for severe weather, there's that damaging wind threat. It's likely someone's going to see some damaging winds associated with this. So as we see the way things are going to develop through the rest of the afternoon, maybe seeing some individual storms out ahead of a line of storms that eventually will come together and be a little bit more obvious later on tonight. But I think we're starting to see the early makings of that. It just hasn't progressed too much out of Oklahoma yet because some of the same counties keep getting warnings. And then by overnight tonight, around 2 o'clock in the morning, from South Louisiana and East Texas around Houston, all the way up to parts of Illinois, could have some strong storms going through, and there will be that heavy rain threat as well going through the Mississippi River Valley through the midday tomorrow. Mississippi into Alabama, that tornado threat does continue into the afternoon, and then late afternoon, evening through eastern Alabama. Here's the forecast for tomorrow. Going into eventually Georgia with a threat of severe thunderstorms, going all the way up into parts of the mid-Atlantic and parts of the Ohio Valley. But some of the strongest of the strong storms, Jackie, we know expected to be across the deep south.
So flooding rain's a good possibility in those storms, right? And some of the storms are going to move over the same location more than once. So we are concerned about the risk for flash flooding for about 47 million people. So watches extend from Texas all the way up into New England. We're talking Vermont right now. And the type of flooding that we're talking about is twofold. We could be talking about some urban flooding and flash flooding, but also some river flooding. So very warm and very moist air is surging northward. It's getting brought in across strong southerly winds ahead of that system. So there's a lot of moisture to work with. And this is going to be moving over some areas where the rivers are already elevated. So this shows you more than 250 river gauges that are forecast to be in some stage of flooding over the next 5 days across the Ohio Valley and Mississippi Valley.
Attention anyone on Medicare. 2020 Medicare Advantage plans are now available. Did you know you may now be eligible for additional Medicare-approved benefits, including dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage? The toll-free Medicare Benefits and Questions line is now open to help anyone on Medicare make sure you are getting the benefits you deserve. Just call 800-796-6120 now to find out if you're eligible for a Medicare Advantage plan that includes additional benefits like free hearing aids, free eyeglasses, free meal delivery, and free rides to medical appointments. You may also be eligible for $0 monthly premiums, $0 deductibles, or no copays. Just call the toll-free number on your screen now to see if you qualify for additional benefits. There is no obligation to enroll. The call and Medicare benefits review are absolutely free. Did you know you may be eligible for additional benefits with a Medicare Advantage plan that includes additional benefits like dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage, free hearing aids, free eyeglasses, free meal delivery, and free rides to medical appointments? Just call 800-796-6120 now to find out if you're eligible for a Medicare Advantage plan that includes additional benefits like dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drugs. You may also be eligible for $0 monthly premiums, $0 deductibles, or no copays. Just call 800-796-6120. 2020 Medicare Advantage plans are now available. Just call the toll-free number on your screen now to make sure you're getting the benefits that meet your needs. There is no obligation to enroll. The call and benefits review are absolutely free. Just call 800-796-6120. That's 800-796-6120. Call 800-796-6120.
Delicious high-fiber Raisin Bran.
Sure you don't want me to come with you?
I'm very sure.
Because I can. Make good choices.
You make good choices.
I am. Fiber's good for digestive health.
Good choices never tasted so good. Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
I don't keep track of regrets, and I don't add up the years. But what I do count on is Boost High Protein.
And now, introducing new Boost Mobility with collagen for joint health. When taken daily, its key nutrients help support joints, muscles, and strong bones. New Boost Mobility.
I wanted to start dating again, but I didn't know where to start. Silver Singles made it easy for me to get back into dating.
Over 1 million singles trust Silver Singles to get back into dating. Signing up is easy. Start your search today at silversingles.com.
Alexa, tell me about Neptune's Sorrow.
It's a masterstroke of heartache
and redemption.
The Lexus NX, modern utility for modern obstacles.
Lease the 2020 NX 300 for $359 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Does scrubbing grease feel like a workout? Scrub less with Dawn Ultra. Its superior grease cleaning formula gets to work faster, making easy work of tough messes. Dawn takes care of tough grease wherever it shows up. Scrub less, save more with Dawn.
Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything. Like pizza, your coworker's lunch, whatever this is. Astronaut food.
And astronauts?
Everything.
Yum.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. I put that on everything.
Winter Storm Isaiah ravaging through the first full week of 2020. Welcome back into the Weather Channel's continuing coverage of Winter Storm Isaiah. I'm meteorologist Kevin Wooten. We're live in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. More so downtown Dallas here, but here's the thing. I know we're talking about a winter storm. This storm has a nasty, severe side. We've already seen tornado warnings this afternoon throughout Texas and Oklahoma and Missouri. Eventually more of that will fill in later on today as well. So we're getting some sprinkles right now, and if you're looking at the radar, I know what you're thinking. Is this the main line of storms? No, it is not. The ground is saturated from a few sprinkles that we had earlier today. Eventually, I'm looking at the radar right now. Again, this storm complex should actually start to move towards the northeast a bit more, and we'll notice the radar start to fill in with more showers, potentially that threat of tornadoes as well. We do have a tornado warning here in Dallas as of 5, so that's a 50% chance of seeing a tornado within a 50-mile radius. And again, that tornado watch that we have in place also goes until about 9 o'clock this afternoon. We're right at Victory Park here, and here's the thing. There is a game tonight, the Mavericks versus the Lakers here in this at American Airlines Center. A lot of people will need to watch the radar very closely because as that game does let out, or starts rather, we could certainly be in for some rough weather. Let's go inside now to Jackie Jarris. Jackie.
So, Tevin, this is feeling like deja vu. What was it? About an hour ago, you were talking about conditions in Dallas, and we mentioned there was a tornado warning in Cook County up towards your north. Well, here we go. Another storm moving through there, and that one looks like it's rotating yet again. So let's give you the latest on the warnings. You can see our line kind of quasi-linear here. It is trying to come together, and within that line, we are getting some thunderstorms that look like they're rotating, at least via Doppler radar. So this is Cook County again under a tornado warning, including Gainesville, Lindsay, and Valley View until 4:15 local time. The area of rotation still off to the west of Interstate 35 right now, and looks fairly broad, somewhere within this area to the south and west of Gainesville. And this storm is moving very quickly up to the north and the east. How fast did you say, Don? Was it 50? 65. Woo! 65 miles per hour. So think of that. If you're traveling along 35, right, in your vehicle on the interstate, how fast are you driving? Probably somewhere right around that speed. So it means you just have less time to get to your safe place. So if you're not there yet, Cook County, if you're not there yet, Gainesville, you need to get there pretty darn fast. And so that's what we're going to be seeing in the upcoming hours, too, is that these storms are picking up in forward speed. A few of them were around 30 earlier, but we're watching the storms begin to advance as those strong upper-level winds continue to kick in also. Here's a look at the timing of all this. 3:53, Gainesville, Fackerville around 4:02, and if it holds together out towards Dixie, that would be moving through around 4:05 local time. There's also, by the way, an aerial flood advisory in effect. Actually, it's a flash flood warning now for Cook County until 6:15. So you're getting more heavy rain on top of it. And also something to keep in mind. Look at how much rain is all around this area. If there's a tornado in some of these thunderstorms, chances are pretty good you might not be able to see it. These could be rain-wrapped storms. So take the warning seriously. And I would also take severe thunderstorm warnings seriously today, too, because sometimes those tornadoes can spin up very quickly within a line of thunderstorms like that, but also the wind threat might actually trump the tornado threat in some spots because the winds could exceed 60, even 80 miles per hour at times. So there you can see an area pushing through there right around the Westville area where we're seeing some of those strong wind gusts. So the tornado watch remains in effect across eastern parts of Oklahoma and in northwestern Arkansas till 6 o'clock tonight. To the south of there. Dallas towards Waco, that's until 9 o'clock. So we are just getting started with what's going to be a very busy night ahead and a very busy tomorrow too, Chris.
That's in terms of severe weather. There's also several states that are dealing with winter weather, or perhaps both. Want to go where we have all types of winter weather going on, at least the potential for it. In Michigan, TJ Turnage with the National Weather Service office in Lansing, Grand Rapids, Michigan. We want to thank you for joining us. As we take a look at what's happening in the state, what is your thought in terms of the ice? What kind of an event do you think we're looking at here?
We're going to be starting out with rain tonight, and then it's going to change over to a narrow band of freezing rain, and that'll separate rain and snow. And the freezing rain is going to be lasting a good part of tomorrow, so there's going to be large ice accumulations with that.
And not too far away from where you are, an ice storm warning has been issued. I believe that'd be from your office. Is that correct? And if so, what's the message that you really want to hit home to the people there in Michigan?
Well, with these ice accumulations, people should be thinking about charging their devices now. Canceling and delaying travel would be very good, especially for all-day Saturday. People should be thinking about getting prepared for power outages that could last potentially several days, and also be thinking about people you know who might be especially vulnerable and maybe have a plan in place for them as well.
So what's your plan in place? I mean, it looks like you guys are in it for potentially a serious amount. We only have about 30 seconds. Do you guys have a plan there? Do you hunker down? What do you do at the National Weather Service office when an event like this?
Well, we definitely make sure everybody's okay. We make sure everybody has power and is safe, and that's obviously a good thing to do with their friends and family as well.
Hey, we appreciate the advice. Best of luck to you and all your family and friends there as you guys work to help keep the public safe. TJ Turnage there at the National Weather Service office for Lansing and Grand Rapids, Michigan, with a lot more snow on the way for the Midwest.
While using smartphones and tablets is second nature to us, the same may not be true for your mom or dad, which means they can find themselves isolated from you and the family.
Here you go, ma'am.
GrandPad, powered by Consumer Cellular, gives you the opportunity to change that.
Hi, Mom. You got it.
Once you've introduced your mom or dad to GrandPad, they'll be able to stay in touch just like you do, sharing photos, emails, and making video calls. They can check the weather, read the news, stream music, play games, and more. With GrandPad, it's easy, even if they've had no experience with new technologies. GrandPad arrives already set up and ready to go, and it's incredibly simple to operate and charge. As soon as GrandPad is turned on, the whole family will be able to connect via the website or downloadable smartphone app. At the touch of a button,
Hi, Mary. How can I help?
GrandPad comes with award-winning customer support from Consumer Cellular, who has been an approved AARP provider for over 10 years, so members get exclusive discounts. GrandPad is safe and secure, connecting the family on a closed private network so you don't have to worry about scams or data breaches. GrandPad comes with all these accessories, and the set monthly fee provides unlimited service, so your mom or dad can use the GrandPad as much as they like. Call or go online to order today and get our 30-day risk-free guarantee. If they're not completely happy, simply return it and pay nothing. They'll be delighted with all the ways GrandPad keeps them entertained and included. You'll rest easy, knowing your mom or dad is finally connected to the comforts of family and friends.
So, Mom, we have some big news. You're going to be a great grandma!
Introduce them to GrandPad, a gift to keep them connected. Order for your mom or dad today and get free shipping. Call 1-877-605-4624. Go online at getgrandpad.com or find GrandPad at Target.
Tonight, we stop and smell the paprika. We break bread with our favorite people and break out of our food ruts. To us, healthy means connecting with our food through every chop, dice, season, and sear, and knowing exactly what goes into each meal. All from the comfort of home. With Blue Apron, skip the stress of meal planning and just enjoy living a healthy lifestyle. Visit BlueApron.com TV60 to get $60 off. Blue Apron, feed your soul.
We got one of those new purple mattresses, and it is amazing. You have to try it.
Oh, this doesn't feel like memory foam.
No.
This feels amazing.
Right?
What is it?
Actually, it's called Purple, and it's a completely unique comfort technology, meticulously designed to cradle and support the human body.
Cool.
Take advantage of Purple's Snore and 20 sale and get free Purple sheets and a premium sleep mask when you buy any Purple mattress.
This is Kate.
Hey.
She takes 2 prescriptions. Kate's son Jack takes 1 too. Kate works hard and thought she had good insurance. But she still pays too much. That's no good. So Kate downloaded the GoodRx app. Now she can compare prescription prices to find the best discounts. She even beats her insurance price. Good for you, Kate. Good for you. GoodRx. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Download the free app today.
Stream your news just like everything else you love with Local Now. It's completely free and ready to go when and where you are. Local Now. Find it in your favorite app store.
Currently in our area, 53 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy this evening, then becoming cloudy after midnight. Low 48. Winds southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, overcast. High 61. Winds south-southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, windy with rain late. Low 58. Chance of rain 80%. Winds could occasionally gust over 40 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Severe Storm Central right now. You're watching the Weather Channel. We're watching the radar right now and want to update you on some of the latest warnings that we're currently tracking there across parts of central Texas into north central Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri right now. Another tornado warning here right along Interstate 40. So this is something that's a little bit different than what we've been seeing earlier. While it's in some of the same areas, we're starting to see a little bit of a progression or a little bit of a surge of this particular part of this overall system. Notice how most of the showers and storms are heading up to the northeasterly direction. Well, now some of the segments have more of an easterly component. This I want to use as a reminder that while we are going to see some storms ahead of the line that could produce tornadoes within, once this becomes more of an obvious line, within the line itself, there will be the chance for tornadoes. You may have multiple opportunities, unfortunately, for seeing tornadoes and at least some damaging winds. In Cook County, tornado warning here in Texas. And as we look at this, you see Gainesville right here. And you can see some of the heavy rain from our Storm Trackers camera, Charles Peak there. And I did get a message from Charles telling me that he was seeing broad rotation right here. If there was some tight rotation and if there was a tornado associated with this, visibility is not great right now because of the rain, and eventually it's going to be virtually non-existent once it gets dark. But looking at the velocity right now, it's a little muddled. But you look at where the green and the red are close to each other, and there's still a little bit of rotation going on there. And now notice we're starting to see a little bit more, again, of that west to east component with some of these warnings. Here's Fort Smith up to Fayetteville, parts of Benton County as well, as we look at this one right here. Also going right along Interstate 40, that tornado warning currently in effect. It's hard to see that obvious spin there where you have the red and green close to each other. You have a lot of red coming in front of this green, so it's going to be like seeing these kinks in the line going forward as this whole system progresses off to the east. And the watches here, again, in effect till 6, likely to see these expand to the east till 9 o'clock in this area right here, which does include the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And then the latest one we just got from the Storm Prediction Center does go all the way down, radiating out from San Antonio there, from Austin, just about, Jackie, down to the Mexican border.
All right, we're keeping a very close eye on Texas right now, especially North Texas. That's under the tornado watch, and we have some warnings that are ongoing right now. So we want to get the very latest on the situation there. Matt Bishop is joining us from the National Weather Service out of the Dallas-Fort Worth office. Matt, thanks so much for taking the time to be with us today.
You're very welcome. I'm glad to be here.
So things are really picking up across the region. What is the latest with the warnings and active weather right now?
Well, that cell that you guys were just talking about in Cook County is the most concerning, at least in the last few minutes. It looks like that tightest rotation is starting to move up across the Red River. But farther south, we are getting additional development along that line that extends all the way down into southern Texas. And anywhere from Gainesville southward to areas just immediately west of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, at least for the next hour, look like they have the best potential for seeing a severe storm and possibly a tornado.
So a lot of the storms have been, outside of the major metropolitan area for now. Are you hearing anything and seeing anything in terms of reports of actual tornadoes or damage?
Fortunately, we haven't had any reports of any damage or any tornadoes that have actually occurred. But like we were talking about earlier, it looks like some of these might be rain-wrapped. So the good news is we haven't had anything reported. The bad news is we still have several hours of this potential lingering.
So rain-wrapped tornadoes can be especially dangerous because people can't see them. So they really need to take the warnings very seriously today. Don't wait for that visual confirmation once that warning is issued. Now, there's not been a lot in Fort Worth or Dallas so far. When are you thinking for timing for the storms to roll through the Metroplex?
I think that right at rush hour at 5 o'clock is when we should start to see that highest threat arrive, and that will probably continue until 7 or 8 p.m. Central Time. So for the next 3 to 4 hours is when our potential will exist.
All right, we've got about 30 seconds left. Anything else you want to let the people of Dallas know?
That's really about it. Just stay weather aware and just keep an eye on things as we head into the evening.
All right. Thanks so much, Matt Bishop with the National Weather Service in Fort Worth. We appreciate you giving an update there. You're looking live right now at our stream from Gainesville, Texas, and you can see the storms across the region with the rain coming down and low ominous clouds. We continue to have warnings that are in effect, including you into Cook County, and a number of warnings going on in parts of Oklahoma. We're going to have continuing coverage on weather underground. That's coming up next. And live reports from Dallas, our own Tevin Wooten is there. Make sure you stay with us for continuing coverage. We're going on and staying late tonight.
No pictures. No posting. This is just for us.
I wanna feel just a little, just a little, just a little. Wanna feel just a little, just a little, little bit more. Little bit more.
Norwegian Cruise Line. Feel free.
What does Help for Heart Failure look like? It looks like this. Entresto is a heart failure pill that helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARM. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
The beat goes on.
Yeah.
I was missing teeth. It was painful to chew. I cut up my food very small, and I would feel more and more limited.
I know she felt that she was holding people back. We couldn't go where we wanted to go out to eat.
I knew I had to try something, and that's what originally drove me to Clear Choice.
When a patient comes in for their free consultation, oftentimes they're not happy with their dentures. Dental implant procedures, they're more permanent. The materials are stronger. They're made with a higher level of technology.
Implants are like normal teeth. I mean, there was no pain. Dentures could never fit right. With the implants, you don't take them out. So there's no worry about them slipping. When you actually can eat and smile as much as you want, it's wonderful.
Not gonna happen.
That's it. I'm calling Kohler about their walk-in bath.
My name is Ken. How may I help you?
Hi, I'm calling about Kohler's walk-in bath.
Excellent. Happy to help. Huh? Hold one moment, please. Kohler walk-in bath features an extra wide opening and a low step-in at 3 inches, which is 25 to 60% lower than some leading competitors. The bath fills and drains quickly, while the heated seat soothes your back, neck, and shoulders. Kohler is an expert in bathing, so you can count on a deep soaking experience.
Are you seeing this?
The Kohler walk-in bath comes with fully adjustable hydrotherapy jets and our exclusive bubble massage. Everything is installed in as little as a day by a Kohler certified installer. And it's made by Kohler, America's leading plumbing brand.
We need this bath.
Yes. Yes, you do. A Kohler walk-in bath provides independence with peace of mind. Get $1,000 off a walk-in bath. Also receive a free Kohler Highline toilet. Call 1-800-574-1372 or visit KohlerWalkInBath.com for more info.
Acura in 2 words.
Beat that.
I'm on it. Me too. Beat that.
Well, that about sums it up.
Coming up tonight on Weather Underground, Winter Storm Isaiah stomping across the country, and this is not one to ignore. The southern severe side of the storm has been rearing its ugly head for most of the day with a stream of tornado warnings, and it's showing no signs of letting up. We will bring you up-to-the-minute information about every single warning as they happen. Now in the north, it's going to be a mess of snow, ice, and rain, and all three depending on where you are. See where the conditions could lead to power outages and make travel difficult or even impossible. And we'll talk with one city facing the trifecta of winter weather about how they'll treat the roads for snow and ice while it's raining. And we have a very active night of severe weather underway right now. Special coverage, extended coverage, be with you until 1 o'clock a.m. Eastern time tonight here on the Weather Channel as we track dangerous storms for you. I'm Mike Bettis. We'll be joining the studio by our Dr. Rick Knapp here in just a moment. Also, we'll take you live with meteorologist Mike Seidel and Tevin Wooten. They'll be in the field for you covering the conditions on the ground. But how about a terrifying sight in an oncoming lane earlier today in Stroud, Oklahoma? Check this out. Did you see that? There's a vehicle. The opposite side, hydroplanes, the truck goes up on the cement barrier and slides down the highway. Absolutely frightening, folks. Just another reminder of how careful we need to be when we get behind the wheel in rainy conditions, in snowy conditions, and in icy conditions, and we'll have all of those. Look at that, wheel flies off and everything. How about this storm? It is so dynamic for us right now. Look at all the things that are in play here. We have severe thunderstorm watches, tornado watches, winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings, ice storm warnings, flash flood watches. It is going to be a really tough go for us, not only today, but through the night tomorrow. Almost all of us see really rough conditions to start your weekend as well. The northern side is going to be very rough. We're going to talk about those issues coming up here in just a moment with crippling ice accumulations possible. First things first, let's get to the severe weather. We've got severe thunderstorm watches, tornado watches in effect for you right now, including a severe thunderstorm watch that does include San Antonio and Austin. That goes until 10 o'clock Central Time this evening. Tornado watch includes Waco and Dallas. Up near the Oklahoma City metro area, does include Tulsa and Fort Smith as well. Our watches tonight until 9 o'clock. But look at all the lightning embedded with these storms as well. It really tells you these storms are very, very tall. They're really got a lot of upward moving energy in them. And a lot of these storms are now starting to rotate as well. Rotating supercell thunderstorms are the ones that are most likely to produce tornadoes. So a lot to get to tonight. Tons of storms for us through Texas, Oklahoma, and beyond. Storms on the southwest side, I should say, of Dallas, and those will be inching their way closer and closer. Now, you go northbound on I-35, tornado warning for us here. This does include around the Gainesville area, so in Cook County, a tornado warning here until 4:15 local time. Gainesville and Lindsay, in Valley View, we're all under that tornado warning, so get to a safe place in your home, lowest level, the ground level of your home, and an interior room. If you have a basement, also a great place to be. We'll zoom down in here to the velocities, see if we see any kind of rotation there. It's going to be that guy kind of right in there that's now come past, say, Gainesville, but about to come or is over Highway 82 right now. So again, if your travel's taking in these directions along some of these highways where we've got lines of storms, we're going to time these out for you so that you know when it's going to be safe for you to get out and resume your activities. So we time this out for you in Kalispell, going to be around 4:15 tonight. Dexter around 4:11. Cedar Mills around 4:19. Lake Kiowa, that's going to be basically on your doorstep. All right. So those storms are going to come through. Expect high winds that could be gusting gusting over 60 miles an hour, frequent lightning, and the possibility of tornado spin-ups as well. Severe thunderstorm warning for us now, Denton and Wise County. That possibly will include some large hail as well, but a pretty decent line there that could produce some strong winds here. Would not be surprised if some of these storms produce 60 or 70 mile per hour winds. Boy, Breyer and Sanger counties are under that severe thunderstorm warning. Really intense line that came through Stigler, headed toward McKee here, and then very, very close to Fort Smith here. Haskell, LaFleur, and Sequoia counties all under a tornado warning right now. Then farther north here between, say, Joplin and Springfield on I-44 here in Missouri, we've got issues. Can hit this one, by the way. We do have one severe thunderstorm warning in Bentonville, around Benton County here in Arkansas. So that may be producing high winds and also the possibility of some hail. But this one here is a tornado warning that now is coming over, say, Interstate 44, Mount Vernon, very close to us, Berry and Lawrence counties. Tornado warning for us until 4:15 this evening. That could have embedded rotation within it, and a lot of these different storms could have even multiple rotations in the same small squall line here. We'll take a look at the velocities, and you can see we had a little bit on there. We'll go step by step here, right in there, just to the north and west of Manette here, and then coming right across, say, I-44. Right there might be where it peaked at its signature. The green and the red right next to each other implies a rotation within that. Then coming across 44, maybe it weakened slightly as it did that. Nonetheless, an intense line of storms happening for us right now. And as we time this out for you, I-44, a highway you want to avoid around Springfield and truly anywhere between Springfield and maybe the Oklahoma-Kansas state lines here. Aurora, 403 is when it's on you, which is now. In Marionville, 404, Republic 404, and in Springfield around 405. So a lot of different areas, and that'll be the front edge of that, by the way, that it'll be the leading edge that's timing out for you. So in all these places, please be aware of how violent the weather could be today. Do everything you can to keep you and your family safe. This area that's highlighted in the red colors and the purple colors, these are the areas that are most likely to experience severe weather, and it could go well past dark tonight. Let's get you to a place that's under the gun. That includes Dallas, Texas. Meteorologist Tevin Wooten is there for us this evening. It won't be long before the Dallas Metroplex Tevin gets hit. All things really are coming together. We don't think there's any way Dallas gets missed by this.
Yeah, Mike, this will be a very volatile system, not just for the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, but other areas of North Texas into Louisiana and southern Arkansas as well. Here in North Texas, in Dallas, we are downtown, right across the street from the American Airlines Center. There's a basketball game tonight. It is the Lakers versus the Mavericks, and that's going on. Of course, a lot of people are starting to flock in there as the rain does come down. I'm not sure if we can pull up the radar right now. We have a decent bout of rainfall on the way into the Dallas-Fort Worth area here within the next, I would say, 5 to 10 seconds. Of course, it's already starting to rain right now. There is certainly more on the way, but here's the thing. This isn't the main line of storms. The main line is still to our west. So as we sort of see this first initial approach, yes, that will sort of destabilize the atmosphere just a bit and then sort of calm it back down. But overall, it will be, this system is very conducive to not just strong thunderstorms, the potential for some hail, and also tornadoes as well. On the Torcon today, a 5 or a 50% chance of tornadoes within a 50-mile radius. For the Dallas-Fort Worth area, for some areas, that's even greater at a 7. And places like Little Rock, Arkansas will also see the decent chance for a tornado or two as well in central Arkansas and the southern portion of the natural state. Let's focus back on Dallas because the rainfall still does persist here throughout the afternoon hours and the evening hours as well. I think the greatest chance to see some strong storms does continue to tick through time overall right around 4 o'clock to 5 in the afternoon and then beyond. The tornado watch that's in place, that expires at 9 o'clock per the National Weather Service's guidance and issuance. So if they see the need fit, they could easily extend that. They could also sort of pull back and scale some of those back as time goes on. So we will continue to check the latest conditions here. Some of the strongest winds, by the way, have been close to 25 or 30 miles per hour. They are quite calm right now, which is actually quite interesting because we just saw wind gusts earlier today between, again, 25 and 30 miles per hour. Some of the strongest gusts as the next line of storm races in, Mike, close to about 50 or 60 miles per hour. Of course, if you get a tornado embedded in that, you can have stronger winds, Mike.
You know, really to your point, Evan, could be bad timing here is that you might maximize the volume of traffic on the roads at the time when you're seeing the storms come right through Dallas-Fort Worth.
Yeah, that's one of the things that has to be taken into consideration here. This is a heavily populated and trafficked area, too. By the way, the school district, Dallas Independent School District, has canceled all after-school activities for students, which is certainly good news, but you're going to have a lot of parents, obviously, picking up kids on a Friday, but also those buses running as well. Mike.
All right, that's our Tevin Wooten for us tonight in Dallas. Tevin, thank you so much. Let's bring in now Dr. Rick Knabb, talk a little bit more about where this goes overnight. I'm hoping, I'm not overly confident that will happen. I'm hoping that maybe some of that rain that Tevin's experiencing right now may stabilize the atmosphere somewhat so we could reduce at least the tornado risk.
Maybe a little bit, but I think overall this system is so large and so energetic, the whole thing is going to grow upscale, and we're going to see a big squall line developing. In fact, you can already see that taking shape. This elongated area, the primary area of thunderstorms, even though we have some ahead, this squall line going to have some bow echoes. It's going to have some locally heavy rainfall, and so we have to watch for that. And that's why the tornado watches and severe thunderstorm watches are expanding. This one goes till 6 p.m. into northwestern Arkansas. The one farther south, including Dallas and Waco, goes till 9 Central. And as Mike showed, now we have the severe thunderstorm watch down to the south till 10 Central. So you can see how the severe threat is expanding from north to south. But let's take a look at how this line is going to evolve. We've got all kinds of warnings, tornado, severe thunderstorm, and flash flood warnings. We'll detail the flood risk in a little bit. But watch how this evolves over the next several hours. See how that line congeals, and it really starts to get to be one solid long band of showers and thunderstorms. And then when you get to about midnight Central Time, now it's starting to get into the Houston area, into northwestern Louisiana, and into Little Rock. Then it's going to be an overnight mover to the east, and this is when you could have overnight severe thunderstorm winds that will require you to be sheltering, so make sure you have those alerts ready to go off on your phone or your NOAA weather radio to wake you up in case the tornado or severe thunderstorm winds happen overnight. And then when we get to early tomorrow morning, it's starting to cross the Mississippi River and getting even into the New Orleans area. So through tonight into tomorrow morning, this is where we are likely to see severe thunderstorms. And this area is mostly painted where it is because of the strong wind threat. So don't think you have to have a tornado warning in order to have a life-threatening, severe thunderstorm warning kind of situation where you need to take shelter as if it was a tornado. So I'd be sleeping in the safe spot overnight tonight for that particular threat. And then, of course, through tonight, Mike, we've got the Torcon of 7 in southeast Oklahoma, South Arkansas, northeast Texas, and there's pretty significant Torcons surrounding that. So this is going to be a multi-hazard night. Tornado, severe thunderstorm, and as we'll talk about a little bit, the flash flooding. Some of them happen in the same places.
Yeah, it's amazing to see all the things that are coming together all at one time. Dr. Knabb, thanks for that. And the threat that we showed you goes now, overnight, tomorrow as well. Hello to you in New Orleans, where it's upper 70s for us right now. The humidity has pumped up today. You might get that feeling. You just step outside, man, it feels like thunderstorms are going to happen. They are. We'll get going later on tonight, but tomorrow could be certainly a very rough day for us. Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, a lot of places east now of the storms that we're seeing. A lot of different ingredients we look at when forecasting severe weather, 4 in particular. And we give it the acronym SLIM, shear, lift, instability, and moisture. We have high amounts of shear, we have medium amounts of lift and instability, and we have high amounts of moisture in the atmosphere. Certainly that's going to tell us that we've got the possibility, especially when you have low-level wind shear, you can get storms to rotate pretty quickly and produce some quick spin-ups of tornadoes. But when you've got high moisture in the atmosphere, oftentimes that leads to heavy rain and flood events. All right, tomorrow, let's shift the threat to New Orleans, Mobile, Birmingham, Montgomery, Memphis, Nashville, and Atlanta, even say a Pensacola and a Tallahassee. We're at risk tomorrow. Then the threat probably weakens as it goes overnight into the Carolinas. But look at this, Torcon of 6, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, the western panhandle of Florida, again, will include a Mobile and a Pensacola, a central Mississippi, central Alabama, so Jackson, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Montgomery, and then tomorrow 4 is our Torcon for northern Alabama, so Huntsville, northern Mississippi, Tupelo, central Florida Panhandle. That will be a Panama City and a Tallahassee. So again, anywhere between say a 40 and 60% chance we get tornadoes in those locations. The system is ideal for producing severe weather and storms, not to mention some flooding, but a southeast flow out of the surface here. We're going to get a very strong low-level jet that comes out of the south, maybe in a westerly component to that, but there'll be be some wind shear or turning of winds with height and acceleration of winds with height, which could create the storms. There's a look at the line that's coming on through Jackson around 8 to 10 in the morning. For Birmingham, it's probably between maybe a 1 and 3 o'clock. And then for a place like Atlanta, probably around 6 to 7 o'clock is when the storms come your way. Now, we are also tracking a wintry side of the system. Kansas City, and then we take you to DeKalb in Illinois here. This is north of Chicago. These are areas where ice and snow could become real issues for us. Meteorologist Mike Seidel, just outside of Chicago. He's in McHenry, Illinois. Mike, we cannot understate enough, maybe even overstate, I should be a better word here, how crippling the ice could be, and then we'll throw snow on top of that in some places.
Yeah, especially in central Michigan, Lansing, those areas. Rain to sleet to freezing rain to snow. We're also going to crank up those winds tomorrow evening as that low goes across Indianapolis. Winds will be gusting tomorrow and tomorrow night up to 40, maybe 50 miles an hour on the lakefront. Let me show you where the precip is right now. It's mostly rain towards south and west. We've had freezing rain in Kansas City. You're under a warning for probably 4 or 5 inches of snow later tonight and Saturday. We've had a mixed bag of sleet and snow in Des Moines. This is all coming in here. So in Chicagoland, temperatures this evening will stay above freezing and the rain moves in. Now we'll time it out for you tomorrow. Again, the morning looks fine for most of the metro area. We're talking mostly a cold rain, but the northwest suburbs where we are here in McHenry County, south of the Wisconsin line, it's going to be sleet, freezing rain to snow before it changes to snow in Chicagoland. So as we get through the late afternoon hours, everybody's over to snow for your dinner out, your movie out tomorrow evening, and the wind picks up, so we could have blowing and drifting snow, and we're looking for several inches in the city. Out here, Mike, generally a 4 to 5 inch total snowfall. Again, sleet, freezing rain, snow, and already we've had 160 flights canceled tomorrow at O'Hare in and out of that airport.
Yeah, doing it preemptively because all they'll be doing tomorrow is de-icing planes, but the runways themselves could be very, very slick. Mike, thanks for the update. More with Mike coming up here throughout the show. And some cities could see rain, snow, and ice, and then some combination of all three as we showed you. But how do you treat the roads during a heavy rain event? Does it even work? You're going to find out when we come back.
Huh. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know Pinocchio was a bad motivational speaker?
I look around this room and I see nothing but untapped potential.
The infamous off-limits room. Invented to protect vulnerable flooring from unruly behaviors like walking and standing. Until waterproof vinyl flooring came along, freeing households from the very fears that once rendered whole rooms unusable. They're called living rooms because they're for living. These are the floors homes are built on. Lumber Liquidators Flooring. This week, save up to 25% on select waterproof vinyl floors.
Timeless style is always in season. Expand your wardrobe this winter at Men's Warehouse. Sport coats start at $99.99. Designer suits start at $199.99. Plus shirts of 3 for $99.99. Only at Men's Warehouse.
Life doesn't give you many second chances. But a Subaru can.
You guys okay? You all right?
Eyesight with pre-collision braking. Standard on the Subaru Ascent. The 3-row Subaru Ascent. Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
So Dish lets you share your TV with your family on multiple devices. Why?
Sweetie, forgot something.
Thank you. Because we know one thing's for sure. It's a little less scary leaving home when you can take a little bit of it with you.
Share your TV on 5 devices, no extra charge. Dish, tuned in to you.
going on? It's a 3 p.m. slump.
Should add a P3.
Oh, yeah.
Need energy? Get P3 with a mix of meat, cheese, and nuts.
At this point, I don't make compromises. I want nutrition made just for me, but I also want great taste, so I drink Boost for Women.
New Boost Women, with key nutrients to help support thyroid, bone, hair, and skin health, all with great taste. New Boost Women.
With Domino's $5.99 Mix and Match deal, you can feed a family of 4 for about $3 per person.
My wallet.
Or your daughter can.
Keep the change.
Feed a family of 4 for about $3 per person with the $5.99 Mix and Match deal at Domino's.
Do you use catheters? Are you using the catheter that's best for you?
For years, I'd been using one kind of catheter, and I never knew that there were other really great catheters available until Liberator sent me samples to try. If I had not tried the samples from Liberator, I might never have found the perfect catheter for me. Liberator Medical sent me a catheter that was easier for me to use right out of the package. I found the best catheter for me. It made my life much easier. My catheters were completely paid for, not a dime out of my pocket.
There are so many innovative catheters. Get the best catheter for you. Call Liberator Medical. Get your free catheter sample pack.
Call 1-800-745-1930. That's 1-800-745-1930.
It's the biggest season yet. Don't miss all new episodes of Highway Through Hell, Sunday nights at 8, here on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 53 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low 48. Winds southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, cloudy, high 61. Winds south-southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, windy with rain late, low 58. Chance of rain, 80%. Winds could occasionally gust over 40 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to Weather Underground as we follow storms for you tonight, including some stormy weather in Gainesville, Texas right now. We are under a tornado watch in this area. Severe thunderstorm watches, tornado watches extend from Texas up through Oklahoma and beyond here. Big line of storms. We urge you to be careful on the roads if you have to absolutely be out there today. We've seen hydroplaning already causing accidents, and so please, please, please be extra cautious. That's a pretty intimidating map, isn't it? A big line of storms with an impressive line of lightning to go along with it, and there are a lot of warnings embedded every single inch, it seems like, of this storm line here. We're going to take you down to some of the most pressing warnings right now, including severe thunderstorm warnings and flash flood warnings for us in and around the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Denton and Wise County under a severe thunderstorm warning, could be looking at up to an inch in diameter hail here, not to mention 60-mile-per-hour winds. And up where the camera was, it's up around the Gainesville area here, where there's a pretty good line coming through there as well with a severe thunderstorm warning. So along I-35, blinding rain at this point, then coming across Highway 82 as well. Anywhere between Denton and Gainesville and Sherman, it's going to be tough go tonight. Cook and Grayson counties under that severe thunderstorm warning. Farther north we go now. From, say, Tulsa, McAllister to Fort Smith, Arkansas to Fayetteville, Arkansas here. Impressive line of storms also here. That's a really intense surge in the storm line there. So that's really racing out ahead some of the other ones. So that'd be the one that would produce really intense winds and maybe a brief spin up of a tornado. Adair, Cherokee, Sequoia counties all under a severe thunderstorm warning. Winds here could gust up to 70+ miles per hour. Now let's go a little bit farther north up towards, say, Kansas City for you this evening. Mostly wet, although now the temperature is at a critical point, 32 degrees, so we're anticipating some freezing rain. Also already getting some sporadic power outages being reported, and it could only get worse from this point going forward as now the temperatures are cooling enough where anything that falls from the sky is going to start to freeze on contact with a frozen surface. All right, let's take you through these storms, and we'll get you a little bit farther north here and show you what some of these storms are doing. doing for us. Places, I'm going to get this fast forwarded for you just a little bit here so you can see what's going on with some of this icy weather for us here. For some of you, it's going to be a real mess, unfortunately. There could be the possibilities that we end up seeing heavy ice accumulation here, which could be upwards of a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch in through Missouri. Could potentially be more than that as we go farther north, where some of the coldest air will get in there first. But the temperatures are critical. Kansas City sitting at 32. Now Omaha significantly cooler, and everything that falls from the sky is now snow. But you can see there's a really sharp cutoff. Just look at the color codes here. You see the oranges and the greens, the yellows, all rain. Then it just incrementally gets colder and dicier with the weather. All right, there's that moisture being thrown over top of the front there, with the high pressure driving the cold air now farther south. When those two meet up, guess what? It's all wintry weather for us here. It just depends exactly what your surface temperature is, or maybe even just a few hundred feet above your head. What that temperature is will determine what precipitation you see at the ground. All right, look at these temperatures. This temperature profile, 7 p.m. tonight, okay? Lansing, key temperature, 30 degrees. Chicago, our temperature at 32. Freezing rain is very, very possible for us, or water that's on the roads will then maybe just refreeze here. But let's go vertically in the atmosphere. So at the surface, we're 30 degrees. Plenty cold enough for something to freeze. But at 5,000 feet, it's 37. That might be raindrops, or it might be sleet, because at 10,000 feet, we're at 30. So snow, probably rain, and then back to some sort of freezing rain here. So be careful. The thing about it is, this makes it really, really tricky, because you're either starting off cold, or maybe you're just a hair above freezing, and pre-treating the roads can be very, very dicey, no question about that. Let's bring in now Melissa Black. She's with Missouri DOT to talk about how you approach something like this. Melissa, thanks for being with us. Already getting temperatures down to freezing in Kansas City. What is your strategy in tackling this storm?
Yes, well, of course, we have our crews out, and they're already trolling all of our roads out there. We started this morning by getting all of our blades and spreaders attached to our vehicles, of course, and as you mentioned, during rain, there's not a lot you can do during that time, but right now, the rain is kind of all moved through, and like you said, it's getting ready to switch over. So as soon as we see that switch from the rain to the sleet, our folks will start putting down rock salt, and that's when we know that we can start actually making a difference. And they're really going to concentrate on our bridges and overpasses first, because those are the areas of our biggest concern. And once they get those covered in the rock salt really well, then they'll hit our highest traveled roads next.
And, I'm sure you want to keep as many people off the roads as possible, but some people might feel compelled to get out. They got to go to work. They want to go to some event. Are employers and event organizers cooperating and maybe giving people fewer reasons to get out on the roads?
Well, I can't speak for all the employers out there. I know what we tell folks is, if at all possible, of course, to stay home or stay wherever they are, at least long enough for us to get out there and get the materials out, and then hopefully to let the storm move through, because we really need to get not only the materials out, but then once the snow starts, we need to be able to plow, and it's certainly much more difficult with vehicles on the road. So we really do encourage everyone to just stay off the roads if at all possible. All
right, Melissa, thanks so much for talking to us this evening. I know it's going to be potentially a pretty rough night for you, but thanks for speaking with us. Be careful, or just stay off the roads if at all possible.
Whether it's rain, ice, or severe weather, being on the roads is one of the most dangerous places to be.
Absolutely. We come back, more on severe weather across the South with new tornado warnings. We're back after this.
This is my body of proof.
Proof I can fight moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis.
Proof I can fight psoriatic arthritis with Humira.
Proof of less joint pain.
And clearer skin in PSA.
Humira targets and blocks the source of inflammation that contributes to joint pain and irreversible damage.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Humira is proven to help relieve pain, stop further joint damage,
and clear skin in PSA.
Want more proof?
Ask your rheumatologist about Humira.
Congrats, Kim. You got your own car with your own insurance.
No more driving that old hand-me-down.
Did you trade it in?
My parents handed it down to my little brother.
You ready?
Yeah. Surprise! No, not beige Betty. You guys can't do this to me, seriously?
My car is like a rite of passage.
How do you expect me to drive this?
Just turn the key and yeah, it's just
some of this.
It's automatic, dual cup holders.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
The ups and downs of frequent mood swings can plummet you to extreme lows, lift you to intense highs, or make you feel both at once. Overwhelmed by bipolar 1 symptoms? Ask about Vraylar. Some medications only treat the lows or the highs. Vraylar effectively treats depression, acute manic, and mixed episodes of bipolar 1. Full spectrum relief of all symptoms with just one pill once a day. Elderly patients with dementia-related psychosis have an increased risk of death or stroke. Call your doctor about unusual changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts. Antidepressants can increase these in children and young adults. Report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, which may mean a life-threatening reaction. Or uncontrollable muscle movements may be permanent. Side effects may not appear for several weeks. Metabolic changes may occur. Movement dysfunction, restlessness, sleepiness, stomach issues are common side effects. When bipolar 1 overwhelms, Vraylar helps smooth the ups and downs.
5 steps for perfect winter skin.
5 steps? My skin gets so dry and itchy, I need serious relief. That's why I use O'Keefe Skin Repair. It's 48-hour moisture in one use and guaranteed relief for dry, itchy skin. Thanks to O'Keefe's, I got my skin back.
Last time I bought a used car, I ended up paying too much. It's pretty embarrassing.
Only Carfax.com can give you the most accurate price based on the Carfax report. Stop the shame of overpaying and start your used car search today at Carfax.com.
Acura in 2 words.
Beat that.
I'm on it. Me too. Beat that.
Well, that about sums it up.
America, eat your heart out. Marco's is America's most loved pizza. Try our specialty pizzas or delicious toppings like crispy Old World pepperoni. For the love of pizza, order today. Hello to America's most loved pizza. Hello, Marco's.
Certainly the tornado sirens going off for us here in Canadian Shores in Oklahoma here. This is happening a little bit earlier. Heavy rain, but also pretty intense squall lines that are happening for us right now, and those could carry some brief tornadoes. Thanks for being with us. So we're not taking our eyes off the radar for you tonight. I'm Mike Bettis, be joined by Dr. Rick Knapp here in just a moment. Let's get right to those warnings and show you what's happening right now for many of you. Could be a life-threatening situation. We want you to be really, really cognizant of the weather tonight, following it closely, literally minute by minute when those storms are approaching. Numerous severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings embedded within this line. It's a very intense line here. We've got tornado warnings that are southwest and southeast of Dallas right now. Here's the Metroplex and the storms, the red polygons on each side of us on the south side here. You can see the storms here in Bosque, Erith, and Somerville counties. We've got a warning here until 5:15 tonight. Tornado warning, get to the safest place in your home, ground level or the basement. Stay away from windows and exterior walls. Not only could we have 1-inch diameter hail, but it looks like we've got spotter reporting a funnel cloud with this. So we could be looking at a tornado, all right? So we've got a little couplet right in there. Storm moving off to the north and west, and Iredell about 439, Walnut Springs around 454. If you're in those locations, storms coming your way, make sure you're taking shelter quickly here. Also, another complex here, come across 45, also spotters here reporting a funnel cloud. Henderson, Kaufman, Navarro County under a tornado warning. There, right there is the possible funnel cloud or maybe even tornado that came right over I-45. This also moving to the northwest pretty quickly here tonight. We'll put that in motion. You can see, look at that couplet. Pretty tight there. That truly may have come right across the highway. We would urge you to be off the roads tonight. If you don't have to be on the roads, stay home. Safe place for you to be. You don't want to put yourself in harm's way in the path of something like this and you're caught completely unaware. Not to mention some of these storms or tornadoes, if they do pop out, Could be rain wrapped where you don't even see them. Not that you'd be looking for them while you're driving, but could be a complex situation tonight. Roan about 438, Chatfield 439, and in Sticks around 451 is when the tornado could be there for you. That's a very intense line that's racing from Oklahoma over into Arkansas. Adair, Cherokee, and Sequoia counties all under a severe thunderstorm warning. Here, I wouldn't be surprised if winds gusted over 70 miles an hour. And I-49 between Fort Smith and Fayetteville could be a real target zone, again, inside where you want to be. Meteorologist Tevin Wooten is with us live tonight. He is in Dallas. We've got storms north of you, west of you, south of you here, Tevin. Not necessarily right in town, but it won't be long before they're there.
Yeah, Mike, this system is closing in and closing in quickly. I want to show you how quickly, though, the clouds are racing by. The low-level jet, we're talking about the moisture that we have available in the atmosphere right now. There's sort of two ways you can overcome the sin or the cap in the atmosphere, right around 800 millibars. One way is to heat up the atmosphere. The other way is to add more moisture content. Temperatures right now steady at about 69 degrees, and we've sort of been that way all afternoon long. But it's really this, so we're seeing that low-level transport of moisture here. You can see how quickly the clouds are racing in the direction from the right side of your screen to the left, or essentially the south and east or south direction towards the north. So that will add more instability into this equation of meteorology that we have here for the atmospheric setup. Again, the winds today have gusted close to 30 miles per hour. We do anticipate that picking up as this line of storms does race in. So what can we do about timing? Well, here's the thing. We're already at about the 4:30 hour here. So if you do have any sort of afternoon or evening plans, you do want to go ahead and kind of have a backup plan. Also, another great thing to have with you, a NOAA weather radio. You can find these things at a lot of different stores. I don't want to get into too many different places. Dr. Knapp, of course, Walmart here across Texas and across the South. You can find these there. Walgreens as well. A great resource to have because Dr. Knapp, as you know, this storm threat carries into the overnight hours outside of Texas into Louisiana and portions of Mississippi and Alabama as well.
Yeah, and Tevin, these storms along this developing squall line are not going to lose much of their punch overnight. So this is going to be really dangerous and really important that people have their phones or their NOAA weather radio set at high volume to wake you up. You might want to sleep in that safe place tonight as this system moves farther to the east. And as Mike and Tevin were talking about, there's a lot of activity just north and northwest of Dallas, and then that line is extending southwest of there. And in addition to the tornado warnings south of Dallas, you got a lot of severe thunderstorm and flash flood warnings north on I-35 between DFW and up into the Ardmore area northeast from there. And then another area where this line is starting to connect from north to south is up in northwestern Arkansas into southwestern Missouri, again from Fort Smith to Fayetteville up into Springfield and Branson, severe thunderstorm and flash flood warnings. Now watch how this line gets its act together. By later tonight, it is connected all the way from South Texas up into Missouri, and then overnight it's into Louisiana and into the Mississippi River. And then by the time we wake up in New Orleans, you got to start getting ready, and that moves east from there. And of course, there is the winter side of Winter Storm Isaiah. We'll go to Mike Seidel in Illinois when Mike and I come back.
Now only at Domino's for $7.99 each, you can carry out all 5 crust options with any 3 toppings.
Yeah, I don't do gluten.
Right. Try adding gluten-free crust to the invite list, or carry out any of our 5 crusts for just $7.99 every day, only at Domino's.
As a struggling actor, I need all the breaks that I can get. At Liberty Buchamug.
Cut.
Liberty Bibbity.
Cut. We'll dub it.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 Liberty.
My body is truly powerful.
I have the power to lower my blood sugar and A1C.
Because I can still make my own insulin. And Trulicity activates my body to release it, like it's supposed to.
Trulicity is for people with type 2 diabetes. It's not insulin. I take it once a week. It starts acting in my body from the first dose.
Trulicity isn't for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it, you or your family have medullary thyroid cancer, or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, or severe stomach pain. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, belly pain, and decreased appetite, which lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems.
I have it within me to lower my A1C.
Ask your doctor about Trulicity.
Oh, your mom just texted. She's landed, and she's on her way to our house.
What?
I thought she was coming next weekend.
I got it. Alexa, start the coffee. Set the temperature to 72. Start Roomba.
We got this.
Don't look.
What? It's Mom. Mom.
The Lexus ES. Eagerly prepared for the unexpected.
Lease the 2020 ES 350 for $389 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Through the AT&T network, edge-to-edge intelligence gives you the power to see every corner of your growing business. From using feedback to innovate, to introducing products faster, to managing website inventory and network bandwidth, giving you a nice big edge over your competition. That's the power of edge-to-edge intelligence.
Cake in the conference room.
Show them you're ready to be your own boss. That's the beauty of your smile. Crest 3-dimensional whitening removes stains, whitens in between teeth, and protects from future stains. Crest, healthy, beautiful smiles for life.
Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything. Like pizza, your coworker's lunch, whatever this is. Astronaut food.
And astronauts?
Everything.
Yum.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. I put that on everything.
Timeless style is always in season. Expand your wardrobe this winter at Men's Warehouse. Sport coats start at $99.99. Designer suits start at $199.99. Plus shirts of 3 for $99.99. Only at Men's Warehouse.
Sensitive skin? Cetaphil Moisturizing Cream with 24-hour moisture lock formula gives continuous soothing relief for dry, sensitive skin. Cetaphil skin is healthy skin.
Welcome back to Weather Underground. That's the view in Longview, Texas. Just a drenching downpour for you. Just the beginning of what we anticipate a pretty long-lived severe weather event happening throughout the day today, lasting overnight, and then likely continuing into your weekend. Tomorrow, a very rough day as well, and we'll highlight all that for you, including the latest warnings and what the risk is as you start your Saturday. Plenty of active weather for us tonight. Big, long complex of storms here. And we're going to focus in on the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex because that's an area that we expect to get hit and hit pretty hard. A couple of tornado warnings, numerous severe thunderstorm warnings for us right now. The one that's been most active has been this one in Henderson, Kaufman, and Navarro counties. That storm moving off to the northeast right now. 5:15 the expiration on that. But if you're in Corsicana or Kaufman or Kemp, these are also past Corsicana, I think now, but those are all places that could be affected. Maybe not as tight a couplet on this or rotation as we once saw, but it's still in there. So these things can cycle. They can be intense, they can weaken a little bit, then that couplet can tighten up again and then become intense. If you're anywhere between Gun Barrel City and Scurry, I'd urge you to get to a safe place right now, ground level, in an interior room or in a basement, as that storm could come right across 175 and produce a tornado. Again, storm moving off to the north-northeast here, Grays Prairie, Kaufman, and Abner, all in harm's way. We're going to talk more about the severe storms and the tornado threat, but the other big threat is going to be snow and ice with Winter Storm Isaiah. That's a look at the map. Heavy snow could fall for us in Oklahoma, Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, all the way up through Michigan. You're taking a live look at Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and South Haven, Michigan, two places that could get hit by wintry weather from Isaiah. All right, let's talk a little bit more about what that wintry side is going to produce for us here, because for some of us, it's going to produce some really significant ice for us here. That ice is also going to be accumulating over a period of time here. So what that means is we're going to have opportunities here for very tough travel conditions, not nearly impossible travel conditions for us. So again, be aware that it's coming for us here. We're going to talk a little bit more about that with meteorologist Mike Seidel for us this evening. Mike is in McHenry, Illinois. That's just outside of Chicago. Mike, for a lot of people, it's going to start out very innocuous here. It's going to start out as rain, but then it could change over for a lot of people. And I think the ice might be the one thing that grabs the headlines out of this winter storm.
Yeah, certainly, because you're thinking about 4 or 5 inches of snow in January in Chicago. That's really nothing unusual. You think about their biggest storm so far was on Halloween, the 30th and 31st of October, when they had 4.5 inches. But areas in central Michigan, upstate New York, where we have the winter storm warnings, that's where you're going to have enough ice plus wind, where we'll likely have trees and power lines coming down, power outages, and maybe some damage. Here in Chicagoland, we will have a period of some freezing rain, but we're thinking there's going to be a short period of that, less than a quarter inch, and that's usually the cutoff for when we're concerned about power outages and trees and branches snapping and the power going out. So meanwhile, as we go through this evening and overnight, we have rain coming in. You can see that on the radar. We do have some snow and freezing rain way north and west of us. The concern right now is the impact is the temperatures in the clouds are going to stay above freezing until sometime late tomorrow morning where we are. We're 45 miles as the crow flies northwest of downtown Chicago, and then slowly drop to freezing and below. That zero line at what we call 850 millibars will sweep south, and whatever's falling at that point will change over to snow. So it occurs first out here in the northwest suburbs, northern Cook, Lake County up near the Wisconsin line, Rockford, and then changes later in the afternoon. And tomorrow evening, it's all snow. So if you have any kind of driving plans, any kind of errands to run in Chicagoland, tomorrow morning until lunchtime, it's the time to do them. After that, the roads will go downhill, and especially tomorrow night once the sun goes down. And if you're not in Chicago, you may already have been impacted. These numbers keep going up fast and furious. Now just over 200 flights have been canceled in and out of O'Hare. Granted, most of those are regional airlines, Air Wisconsin and SkyWest, most of those cancellations. But I'm sure the main airlines, the main jetliners will kick in tomorrow once the snow kicks in. Plus, we're going to have a lot of wind, and that's why we have the lakeshore flood warning up on Lake in Cook counties in Illinois and also Lake County in Indiana. Some of the waves 18 feet high. We've already had a lot of beach erosion and damage on the lakefront over the past couple of months. So we've got it all happening. It's all going to wrap up late tomorrow night, Mike, but by that point we'll have probably about 4 or 5 inches of snow here, about 3 in the Loop area. The highest totals will be from Madison to Milwaukee, and Storm Tracker Jim Cantori is headed there. He'll be on the air tomorrow morning and again tomorrow evening.
It just blows your mind, all the different components of this storm that are going to play out here, Mike, and that wind might be just the thing that knocks out a lot of power if we've got ice and snow that are on some of these trees or power lines. Mike, thank you so much, and more with Mike coming up here in just a little bit. Let's talk about Kansas City, where we've gone over to freezing rain now with a temperature at 32. Emergency managers there reporting that it's rained about 1/3 of an inch since the temperature got down to 32. So now we're going to start to build up the ice here. St. Joseph, we're 32 with snow. Kansas City, we're ice, and the timing couldn't be worse as people are getting off of work right now and heading home. Hopefully you're home. But I-35 all the way up to Des Moines is going to be a wintry mess for you, from freezing rain to snow here. Des Moines temperature sits at 24. Now you might get better traction at 24 in snow than you will at 32 in ice down in Kansas City. It's going to be really ugly for us. Lamoni here over towards Centerville and Cedar Rapids toward Dubuque as well. When we come back, more on the wintry side of Isaiah, more on the severe side, including tornadoes across Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas right now.
If you have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, flakes can throw a wrench into your day. That's why there's Illumia. With just 4 doses a year after 2 initial doses, clearer skin is possible.
Don't use if you're allergic to Illumia or any of its ingredients. Before starting treatment, your doctor should check for tuberculosis and infections. Illumia may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them.
This could be your chance to leave your psoriasis symptoms behind. Ask your doctor for Illumia today for a clearer tomorrow.
Start the new year with a new look from Lumber Liquidators Flooring. This week, get gorgeous hardwood from $1.99. Or save up to 25% on waterproof vinyl flooring, plus special financing. These are the floors homes are built on. Only at Lumber Liquidators.
Wow, that's Ensure Max Protein with high protein and 1 gram sugar.
It's a sit-up, banana, bend at the waist. I'm trying.
Keep it up. You'll get there.
Whoa!
30 grams of protein and 1 gram of sugar. Ensure Max Protein.
Timeless style is always in season. Expand your wardrobe this winter at Men's Warehouse. Sport coats start at $99.99. Designer suits start at $199.99. Plus shirts of 3 for $99.99. Only at Men's Warehouse.
Now only at Domino's for $7.99 each, you can carry out all 5 crust options with any 3 toppings.
Yeah, I don't do gluten.
Right.
Try adding gluten-free crust to the invite list, or carry out any of our 5 crusts for just $7.99 every day, only at Domino's.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Do woodchucks chuck wood?
Hey, you dang woodchucks! Quit chucking my wood!
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
So, you want to get creative with your oatmeal. First, you need whole grain Quaker oats. Then add some Solid Choice. Perhaps a dash of dairy. And maybe a bit of tried and true. When it comes to creating your perfect bowl, anything can be an ingredient. Okay, almost anything. Our oats, your creation. Quaker Oats.
We got one of those new purple mattresses, and it is amazing. You have to try it.
Oh, this doesn't feel like memory foam.
No.
This feels amazing.
Right?
What is it?
Actually, it's called Purple, and it's a completely unique comfort technology, meticulously designed to cradle and support the human body.
Cool.
Take advantage of Purple's Snore in 20 sale and get free Purple sheets and a premium sleep mask when you buy any Purple mattress.
Jim and Joanne are here to pick up the same prescription. They both know the system is not on their side. They both know drug costs are out of control. But one of them is taking back control with GoodRx. Next. So while he's paying that much, even with his insurance, she's paying this much just by using GoodRx. Use GoodRx to compare prices at pharmacies in your area and stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Download the free app today and take back control.
This is just the beginning.
Whatever winter sends your way, be as ready as we are. America's most trusted TV news network, The Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 53 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low 48. Winds southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, cloudy, high 61. Winds south-southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, windy with rain late, low 58. Chance of rain, 80%. Winds could occasionally gust over 40 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Darkening skies over Dallas, Fort Worth. Welcome back into Weather Underground, and now we're continuing coverage of Winter Storm Isaiah. I'm meteorologist Tevin Roon, live for you from Dallas, Texas. And though we're talking about a winter storm, we are talking about a nasty, strong, and volatile severe side to this storm as well. We've already had tornado warnings across Arkansas, Texas, and also the state of Oklahoma as well. We're anticipating more of that as we go throughout the evening and overnight hours. So it is very pertinent and important to have a way to get thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings as we go throughout the overnight hours, especially as you are sleeping. Here in Dallas-Fort Worth, we're actually anticipating the strongest activity to arrive within the next hour to an hour and a half. We already had one wave of showers here throughout the Victory Park area. I want to show you what we're looking at in the sky right now. Not dry skies whatsoever. In fact, the dew points right now 64, 65 degrees. The winds are gusting close to 30 miles per hour. Mike, of course, driving that low-level jet out of the south and towards the north. So we're just pumping in moisture. By the way, the atmospheric temperatures not cooling down at all. We're close to 70 degrees right now in Dallas-Fort Worth and in Arlington. So the setup right now is very conducive, if you will, to strong storms, Mike. And I know you're tracking more of those too. Oh, absolutely. Tevin, thank you for the update. And again, it will not be that long before the storms are right there in the Metroplex. We've got a couple of areas of storminess that we're watching for you, including the big squall line that extends from near San Antonio all the way up through Missouri tonight. But I want to kind of focus in on this area right in here, kind of east and southeast of Dallas. What's going on there? Well, now we've got maybe more of a profile that gives us a little bit more wind shear, what I'd call cleaner air, if you will, that's not been necessarily disturbed by a lot of cloud cover here. But we've got an area here that I think might be a little bit more favorable for discrete supercells to form now east of Dallas. And those are the storms that have had some really impressive couplets on them and producing funnel clouds, at least reported by spotters, then coming across Highway 175. Ellis, Henderson, Kaufman counties all learning a tornado warning. That's until 5:15 local time. Likely, we had maybe a brief tornado came right across Highway 175 for us. It may have actually come across, come across I-45 and about to come right over 175. Kaufman, again, we're at risk. Please get to a safe location as quickly as you can. How about this impressive storm right here? Had a big hail core on it, now spinning through, say, Bosque, Erith, and Somerville counties. Glen Rose, we're next to be hit by this. And Highway 67, we urge you to take shelter between Walnut Springs and Glen Rose. The core of the storm is going to be right in there. And again, 1-inch hail could be accompanying this as well, and that storm is going to be pushing its way off to the north and east here in Brazos Point about 5:04. The storm is on you, and in Cleburne around 5:29 tonight. This entire area under a tornado watch that goes until 9 o'clock this evening. Tornadoes south of Dallas, north of Dallas, and all the way up into Arkansas, and then severe thunderstorm watches down through the San Antonio and Austin area. Again, tornado watch until 6 o'clock Central Time. Does include Fort Smith and Tulsa. Now, overnight tonight, maybe even after you go to bed, there could be a risk. Dr. Knabb with us to talk more about that, where the atmosphere is just primed to keep on going, even overnight.
Yeah, and I tend to agree with you about that extreme northeast Texas area. The Paris, Texas area could be in the next few hours a big problem. But overall, this is going to be a long line of problems that barrels eastward. You can see how it is congealing all the way from south of San Angelo, Texas, up into Missouri. That's how long this band is. And you can see the future radar by the HRRR model starting to pick up on that pretty accurately as a starting point. So we can have pretty good confidence that this line is going to continue to consolidate and move eastward. And there's that northeast Texas area late tonight. And to get into Little Rock by midnight, Shreveport and Houston will have a late tonight event. And there will be, even if you don't get a tornado warning, if you get a severe thunderstorm warning, there could be 60, 70, 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts. You got to be taking shelter for severe thunderstorm warnings as if it was a tornado and stay off the roads because the flash flood risk is significant. Then by tomorrow morning, it's approaching the Mississippi River. New Orleans, early tomorrow morning, I would be getting off the roads as things start to go downhill. Overnight tonight, the wind threat is the main reason for this very likely area that we're painting for severe thunderstorms, but of course embedded tornadoes as well. Through tonight, we have that Torcon of 7 in this area, and that includes that northeast Texas area that Mike and I were talking about. Torcon of 5 for places like Little Rock, and then surrounding that a Torcon of 3. So a lot of you at risk at any point on the map of getting a tornado within 50 miles, a 30% chance where the Torcon is 3. Then let's pick it up tomorrow. Let's see when it crosses the Mississippi River, and then we get into the morning hours. Mississippi, Alabama. If you live in a rural area in those states, you might want to think about where you could take shelter elsewhere tomorrow so you don't find yourself in a non-sturdy home and shelter's too far away. And then by late in the afternoon, getting into western Georgia, Atlanta, you'll be in the mix, the Florida Panhandle during the day as well. So this is going to be a long day tomorrow. Severe thunderstorms likely over a large area, southeast Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, into Georgia. And we have a Torcon of 6 in those areas. Mike and I will be back to continue to cover the severe side, the flood side, the winter side of massive winter storm Isaiah. Stay with us.
I see your face looking into my eyes.
Meet Aquapana with its unique journey through the nature of Tuscany. Aquapana. Meet the smoothest taste on earth.
With Domino's $5.99 mix and match deal, you can feed a family of 4 for about $3 per person.
My wallet.
Or your daughter can.
Keep the change.
Feed a family of 4 for about $3 per person with the $5.99 mix and match deal at Domino's.
So Dish lets you share your TV with your family on multiple devices. Why?
Sweetie, forgot something.
Thank you.
Because we know one thing's for sure. It's a little less scary leaving home when you can take a little bit of it with you.
Share your TV on 5 devices, no extra charge. Dish, tuned in to you.
You got your own car with your own insurance.
Thanks, Steph. No more driving that old hand-me-down.
Surprise!
No, I'm not gonna get a date in this.
We had a lot of great dates in this car.
No, just, ew.
I'm truly amazed at the effect that it has on people.
Thank you, Mom. Give a little bit of my love to you.
You'd be surprised where life could take you when you open yourself to new possibilities. Rediscover the magic of dating with Silver Singles. Signing up is easy. Start your search today at silversingles.com.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now there's Skyrizi. 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months after just 2 doses.
Skyrizi may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or coughs, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Ask your dermatologist about Skyrizi.
If you have moderate to severe psoriasis, little things can be a big deal. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not a cream. It's a pill that treats plaque psoriasis differently. With Otezla, 75% clearer skin is achievable. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Otezla, show more of you.
Timeless style is always in season. Expand your wardrobe this winter at Men's Warehouse. Sport coats start at $99.99. Designer suits start at $199.99. Plus shirts of 3 for $99.99. Only at Men's Warehouse.
What do we want for dinner?
Burgers! I want a sugar cookie. I want a bucket of chicken. I want...
It's the easiest because it's the cheesiest. Kraft for the win-win.
Coming up tonight on Weather Underground, winter storm Isaiah stomping across the country. It's not one to ignore. On the southern side, we've got a storm that's really rearing its ugly head. A stream of tornado warnings for you tonight. It's really got no signs of letting up either. So we're going to bring you the latest information, including the latest about every warning that we have out there right now. Now, to the north, it's going to be a mess of snow, ice, and rain in all 3, depending on where you are. See where the conditions could lead to power outages and make travel difficult or even impossible. And we'll talk with one city facing that trifecta of winter weather about how they'll treat the roads for snow and ice while it's still raining. Very active night of severe weather underway for you right now. Special extended coverage for you on the Weather Channel until 1 a.m. Eastern Time as we track dangerous storms across the south, very wintry weather across the north. I'm Mike Bettis, and we'll be joined by Dr. Rick Knabb in just a moment. Also, meteorologist Mike Seidel and Tevin Wooten. They'll be in the field for us this evening in Illinois as well as Texas. Want to show you, though, really terrifying sight, and drives home the point about watching your speed on the roads. Check out that truck. It's in the opposite lanes. Looks like it skids or hydroplanes, gets up on top of the center cement barrier and basically does like a, my goodness, a slide right down the railing. The tire pops off and everything, but really urge you to be careful if you absolutely have to drive this evening. And this, again, isn't freezing stuff. This is just wet roads. Okay, so now imagine if you're on icy roads or snowy roads, how bad it could be. This map is very colorful. We've got severe thunderstorms. We have tornadoes, flooding, winter weather, ice. Everything is on the table with this storm. You can expect it all. Damaging winds could exceed 70 miles an hour. We could have flash flooding. Tornadoes could be ongoing through the night tonight. And of course, we'll talk about the winter weather that's just now getting going in some places. All right, let's talk about the imminent threats right now. It includes this line of storms really churning now across Texas, Oklahoma, through the Arklatex, and extends all the way up into Missouri. A couple of embedded tornado warnings within this line, okay, and getting closer and closer to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We've got 2 tornado warnings for us right now, and our newest tornado warning here does have some rotation, a little couplet here maybe on the warning. Hood County is the location here. Again, this is going to be just to the south and west of Fort Worth. Our warning until 5:30 tonight. If you're in Granbury or Crescents or Aledo, these are places where you want to take shelter as fast as you can and protect yourself from this storm. Really sharp line right there. So certainly, without question, we have at least strong straight line winds, but we do maybe have a little bit of rotation back at the tail end of that, and that rotation may be just brief enough to pop down a tornado. And if it happens to be in your neighborhood, well, then it's a big deal, right? Let's time this out for you. Granbury, 5:05. De Cordova here around 5:17, and Crescent around 5:27. That gives you a little bit of time still to get the family together, maybe grab the bike helmets, grab some shoes, get everyone to their safe spot. Bosque, Ayrton, Somerville counties all under a tornado warning as well. This has been going on for a while. Signs that this storm is weakening somewhat. We don't have nearly the tornado signature that we had on it maybe even 45 minutes ago, but that's weakened significantly. Could still be producing some high winds and some small hail, but Glen Rose storm comes your way around 4:50, so basically now, and in Claiborne around 5:29 this evening. And those locations, again, best place for you to be is inside. Those storms are really coming hard now across Highway 49 tonight. So on the interstate here between Bentonville and Fort Smith, tough go. We would urge you to not travel at all here for at least the next maybe 15-20 minutes. Crawford, Franklin, Washington counties all under a severe thunderstorm warning here. Tornado watches, severe thunderstorm watches in effect here, including a watch for San Antonio and Austin until 10. And of course, we've got the tornado watch here in the Dallas area until 9 o'clock this evening. Meteorologist Tevin Wooten is in the Dallas area for us tonight. Tevin, things look like they're getting more and more dangerous for us. The warnings are coming fast and furious, and they're getting closer and closer to Fort Worth and Dallas.
Yeah, Mike, that's the thing. The warnings are coming fast, and that storm system, it's also moving rather quickly as well. In fact, highway speeds at times. So the forward speed of this system may make it a bit more difficult for people to get the heads up or the advance notice that they need. That's why it's very important that you have a way to get those warnings, especially throughout the overnight hours, not just here in Dallas-Fort Worth, but also into Louisiana, Arkansas, and portions of the Mid-South as well across Mississippi. This is a NOR weather radio. You can find this at a big box store and a pharmacy too. If you know that you've got a couple of hours to get one of these things before the storms arrive, it is certainly a good thing to have, not just tonight, but as we get into the latter months and into spring and summer as well, with more severe thunderstorms on the horizon. After all, it's still January, the first full week of 2020, and we're talking about almost like a spring-like system here. The temperatures feel spring-like at times, upper 60s, lower 70s across the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. The dew points are high as well. You can walk outside, you feel that stickiness or the mugginess in the air. It sort of hits you on the way out the door. That lets you know there's plenty of moisture and ample moisture for the system to work with. In fact, you can sort of see some of the clouds that have continuously streamed in as we've gone throughout the afternoon hours today and approaching the evening hours as well. Traffic is flowing right now, and luckily we don't have any major rain showers coming down at this moment. Unfortunately, that will not stay the same over the next hour to an hour and a half's time. So here's what you can do to be prepared. Have a way to get your warnings, and also watch the Weather Channel. Monitor the forecast. It's very important to do on a night like tonight, Mike, especially not just across Texas, but again, the Arklatex, eventually into the Mississippi River Valley and also northern Gulf Coast as well, as more severe storms do move through overnight tonight and into our Saturday. Mike?
Tevin, thanks for that. It's just a really volatile evening and overnight for us. So let's talk a little bit more specifics about that with our Dr. Rick Knabb, because we know, Dr. Knabb, the dynamics are there. A lot of times we think about, the atmosphere kind of quieting down at night. This one probably not going to do that.
No, in fact, it's probably going to do quite the opposite. I think things are escalating overall because the system is strengthening overnight tonight as it moves to the north. More and more moist and unstable air moving off the Gulf of Mexico, and a tremendously long and potent squall line going to be consolidating and bringing hazardous weather, severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, flash flood warnings, and vicious lightning for hundreds of miles south of San Angelo all the way up into Missouri. Now, look at the Dallas-Fort Worth area where we just talked to Tevin. You can see how the band is filling in west of town, and that is a sign of things to come for places farther to the east. This band is going to form and move eastward, and it's not going to lose any of its character. In fact, fact, it might get a little better defined overnight. So we wouldn't be surprised to see some severe thunderstorm, tornado, or flash flood warnings in DFW proper here before too long. A lot of flash flood warnings north of there. And then we've got the severe thunderstorm warnings and flash flood warnings up into Missouri. Even have this new tornado warning in Fayetteville, Arkansas. This was just issued. It's in effect till 5:45 local time. And you can see ahead of that line, got a little bit of spin in these bowing segments of the squall line. And if you look at the future radar, it indicates that you see how there's a lot of wiggling, a lot of cellular character to the model depiction of the echoes on here, even though it's all along a line. So you might get tornado warnings just about anywhere along this line overnight tonight, starting in Shreveport and Little Rock, midnight or shortly thereafter. And then even if you don't get the tornado warning, could easily get a severe thunderstorm warning that you would need to take shelter for as if it was a tornado, because the wind gusts could be 60, 70, as strong as 80 miles an hour. Over midnight, or after midnight, it reaches the Mississippi River by 4, 5 o'clock local time, and then by sunrise tomorrow, it's getting into Mississippi and into the New Orleans area. And overnight tonight, very likely severe thunderstorms. And the main reason for this, Mike, is not so much everybody's going to get a tornado, but a large number of people are going to get severe thunderstorm winds and maybe some hail.
You know, you talk about people that have maybe large trees on their property. What a threat that can be with windstorms like this.
Yeah, I got that at my home, and I'm not going to be letting my family anywhere near the top floor when the severe thunderstorms come through tomorrow.
Yeah, listen, if you've got the ability to sleep, you know, on the first floor in the basement tonight, it might be something that you want to consider. Be a very smart thing to do, and at least, you know, you're going to keep yourself safe. Let's talk a little bit more about then where this goes tomorrow, okay? We still think Louisiana is a target. Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia. That's New Orleans. It's a very soupy atmosphere for us right now. And we have plenty of ingredients tomorrow that will still be in place to produce stormy weather for us. So you take a look at the 4 real main ingredients we look at: shear, lift, instability, and moisture in the atmosphere. High levels of shear tomorrow. And sometimes if you have enough low-level wind shear, that's enough to overcome all the other things you may be lacking in the atmosphere. We've seen it play out time and time again. If you got enough low-level shear, you can produce a tornado. Lift, we've got medium amounts instability, medium amounts in moisture. We have high amounts, so a lot of rain will be produced from storms tomorrow, and flooding could be an ongoing issue. Look at this area tomorrow, even maybe a larger area than today. New Orleans included, Birmingham, Nashville, Atlanta, at least in the bright and dark red colors. Then late or even overnight, it happens across portions of Georgia and the Carolinas, although I think the severe weather threat may start to come down a little bit by that time as they are stabilized, maybe just a little bit more. Just the ingredients aren't necessarily coming together in those spots. Tomorrow, 6 is our Torcon. Portions of Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, the western Florida Panhandle, Pensacola, that's us. Central Mississippi and Alabama tomorrow, Torcon of 5. Birmingham, Jackson, that's us. Northern Alabama and northern Mississippi, Tupelo and Huntsville, that's us. A 4 out of 10 on the Torcon. And Central Florida Panhandle, a 4 out of 10 on Torcon. A 40% chance of tornadoes here in Tallahassee. That includes us. But certainly we're going to keep an eye on all the severe weather, and this setup, by the way, really could produce a significant amount of flooding with all the moisture that's in place and tapped now. And Dr. Knapp, some places have picked up. We've already seen some reports say 4 inches of rain. Look at the water here in Decatur, Texas, right? Yeah. This could play out in a lot of different communities.
Yeah, this is absolutely a taste of what's to come, and this is in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Decatur is northwest of Fort Worth and west of Denton, and they've had really heavy rain rates. This is what happens when severe thunderstorms aren't moving out of an area too quickly, and there's a lot of training going on with a long band. And you're seeing a lot of folks drive over those water-covered roadways. Please don't do that. You just don't know how high the water is above the ground, above the road. And most of this rain, most of this flood risk is going to escalate tonight when it's dark and it's raining heavily. You don't have a chance of seeing how much water is ahead of you. Flood watches all the way from Detroit down to Dallas, and we're really concerned about this area from north of Dallas through eastern Oklahoma into the Fort Smith, Arkansas area. And look at that area already lighting up with flash flood warnings, and the rain rates are tremendous. Look at all of that instability indicated by all that lightning. And down here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, this is just east of Decatur. There includes Decatur, but east of Decatur, getting close to Denton, flash flood warning until 7 local time. That might have to be extended because there's more on the way. Then north of there up up I-35, Gainesville, Texas, getting up to the river. That flood warning until 6:15 local time. Then I-35 up toward Ardmore is a mess. Don't get on the road there. Marietta, Oklahoma, under the warning until 7:15. And we got the warnings extending northeast of there, including all the way up to the I-40 corridor. And now, Mike, all the way into Branson, Springfield, near Joplin, Missouri. It is going to be a very dangerous night on the roads because of the water.
Rough for sure. Inside, the best place for you to stay. Just, cook dinner at home tonight and stay put. Also tracking the wintry side, which could be very, very potent for us. You're taking a live look at Kansas City, already changing over to some freezing rain. And then a live look at DeKalb here in Illinois. This is going to be north of Chicago, anticipating rain, then freezing rain, then snow here. All right, let's talk about what's happening for us currently. And for a lot of you, the changeover is already happening, including through portions of Kansas and then Missouri. Kansas City, we're 32, icy weather for us right now. Sporadic power outages being reported here in extreme eastern Kansas here, with some power outages now being reported with ice accretion here. But the temperatures are very, very key. If you're 32 or below, you're going to see the changeover here. For some of you, we've got the winds that go along with it. So just be careful, because now that you've got, and I'm going to show you some of these winds, St. Joseph gust to 45, and gust right now in Kansas City at 35. So now that we're going to weigh down some tree branches, we're going to weigh down some power lines. You blow a big wind over those and down they come, and you could be losing power. So if you have a generator, I'd urge you to be ready to use it, and use it as instructed by the user's manual, outside only, not in the garage, not inside your home. Lamoni here over towards Centerville, 32 degrees, freezing rain. Des Moines, cold enough where it's snow right now. Cedar Rapids, we've now gone over to icy conditions and a temperature at 30, and in Dubuque, we're at 30 degrees, and we have snow. Again, the wind is going to be a factor in all this. As you can see, the isobars really now starting to get really packed in here. I'm going to put a different color on there for you, but this is all really now going to be a big windstorm force to go along with the snow and the rain and the freezing rain. Chicago, our wind right now out of the northeast at 15. Large area of winter storm watches, winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings, and even ice storm warnings for us. That includes a good chunk there, the thumb, and the metro area of Detroit. Meteorologist Mike Seidel just outside of Chicago. He is in McHenry, Illinois for us. Mike, this is going to be a really dicey forecast, and ice could be a huge factor for a lot of people.
Yeah, more so in Michigan, parts of Michigan and upstate New York. Not so much here in Illinois. We are going to have some ice, but it's going to be a short-lived process. We're going to go from rain to sleet, freezing rain to snow during the day tomorrow, and the transition is going to happen first out here in the northwest suburbs. We're in McHenry. We're 45 miles as the crow flies from Navy Pier and Lake Michigan. Speaking of Lake Michigan, winds could gust to 50 miles an hour, huge waves, 15, 18 footers. We've got a lakeshore flood warning there, and then inland we're going to have the wind too. That's going to affect flights along with a frozen precip at O'Hare. O'Hare has already had 225 flights canceled tomorrow alone, mostly regional carriers at this point. That's about 10% of all the flights. Take a look at the radar right now. You can see we have that mixed bag of snow, sleet, freezing rain based on the colors. Winds already gusting out there. Lamoni, Des Moines, 25 to 30 miles an hour. They'll be ramping up. Let's go back to Mike Bettis. We have a new tornado warning to talk about down in the plains.
All right, Mike, thank you so much for that. And we'll talk more about the winter weather throughout the evening tonight. But get to these tornado warnings outside of Fayetteville and outside of Branson, Missouri for us tonight. Let's start with the northern one here, embedded with some hail, but a storm right around Crane for us tonight. Berry and Stone counties under a tornado warning. If you're in Crane or Galena, McCord Bend, please take shelter quickly tonight. And then the storm line that's back down outside of Waco tonight and outside of Austin. Really strong thunderstorm line here. Gillespie and Llano counties right now under severe thunderstorm warnings. More when we return.
What is it about the way the sun strikes that hardwood floor that makes a regularly dignified man want to lie down and press his cheek firmly against it? It must be the way the sun illuminates each grain of rattan maple, providing it with the spotlight it so rightfully deserves. He gets it. These are the floors homes are built on. Lumber Liquidators Flooring. This week, save $1 per square foot on select hardwoods.
If you have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, every day can begin with flakes. That's why there's Illumia. With just 2 doses, a majority of people were clear or almost clear.
Don't use if you're allergic to Illumia or any of its ingredients. Before starting treatment, your doctor should check for tuberculosis and infections. Illumia may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them.
Text info to 20808 to learn how you could leave your psoriasis symptoms behind, and ask your doctor for Illumia today for a clearer tomorrow.
All the parts that you need to keep her on the road. For work, for school, everywhere you go. But sometimes they can be hard to find. Rock Auto's got the parts for whatever you drive. Upkeep on that work truck, you just save some big bucks. All the parts you're looking for delivered to your front door. All the parts your car will ever need. Rock Auto. All the parts your car will ever need. RockAuto.com.
I hired the team at Bathfitter, and now I've got a bathtub that I love. They use the same high-quality materials that they use in luxury hotels, which is great. Except when my mom comes to visit, she thinks she's staying in a 5-star hotel.
Housekeeping!
Yes, Mom?
Sweetie, I could use some fresh towels.
From luxury hotels to homeowners, Bathfitter exceeds expectations. And we've got over 2 million satisfied customers to prove it. Call now or visit bathfitter.com for a free in-home consultation.
America, eat your heart out. Marco's is America's most loved pizza. Try our specialty pizzas or delicious toppings like crispy Old World pepperoni. For the love of pizza, order today. Hello to America's most loved pizza. Hello, Marco's.
Sensitive skin? Cetaphil Moisturizing Cream with 24-hour moisture lock formula gives continuous soothing relief for dry, sensitive skin. Cetaphil skin is healthy skin.
With Domino's $5.99 Mix and Match deal, you can feed a family of 4 for about $3 per person.
My wallet.
Or your daughter can.
Keep the change.
Feed a family of 4 for about $3 per person with the $5.99 Mix and Match deal at Domino's.
Attention. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services has officially authorized new benefits that Medicare Advantage plans may include. To get the benefits you deserve, you can call the Medicare Coverage Helpline.
Hi, I'm Joe Namath. If you're on Medicare, this is important information. I called the Medicare Coverage Helpline and they instantly looked up my coverage. In this one simple call, they offered to enroll me in a plan that includes rides to medical appointments, private home aides, doctors and nurses' visits by telephone, and even home-delivered meals. The plan also includes dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage, all at no additional cost.
Don't delay. Call to see if the new benefits are available in your area.
Call the number on your screen now. It's free.
Call 1-800-346-4800. That's 1-800-346-4800 now.
This is just the beginning.
Whatever winter sends your way, be as ready as we are. America's most trusted TV news network, The Weather Channel. Currently in our area, 53 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low 48. Winds southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, cloudy, high 61. Winds south-southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday night, windy with rain late, low 58. Chance of rain, 80%. Winds could occasionally gust over 40 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Keeping you up to date on the severe storms tonight. That's a live look as we take you into Texas tonight. That is in Whitewright as we follow our storm tracker Charles Peak out there. The roads are wet, no question about that. The skies are threatening, no question about that. And there could be a very intense line of storms that comes all the way through Texas overnight tonight, maybe even after the sun goes down and certainly after you go to bed tonight. A couple of new tornado warnings want to keep you up to abreast of here. That includes Arkansas and up through Missouri here, so near Fayetteville, up around Branson, and very near Springfield for us tonight. Not to mention, flooding is an ongoing issue with a lot of places reporting water covering roadways right now. Berry and Stone counties. Springfield sits right up here, okay? And so this is coming that direction. There's a bow right in there, and that's at the very least going to produce some really intense winds as that comes maybe near Nixa here or maybe between Springfield and Nixa. So what I'd be doing right now is getting to a safe location in your home. Treat this as if there is an active tornado coming your way. Because even if you get strong wind, just strong winds, and I air quote that, they could be 70 or 80 miles an hour, which could take down trees onto your home. But please take shelter here, 5:30, the expiration on that. So we time this out for you. A place like Nixa around 5:30, Ozark around 5:36, it's coming your way. Farther south of that, now storms that have gone past Fayetteville, but they're wedged between, say, Fayetteville and Harrison tonight. Carroll, Madison, and Washington counties under a tornado warning here. So Alabama, Berryville, Huntsville, your warning till 5:45. We'll zoom down in on this. Now we're kind of at the outer edge of the radar. We're getting a long way away from the radar, so the beam is actually going to be pointing high in the sky. It may not be down near the ground where you get a really nice look at any rotation you have at the ground, but nonetheless, what we want you to do is take all these warnings seriously. Storms could be popping tornadoes multiple times within their life cycle. Huntsville, 5:26 is when that storm could be on you. Now we take you down to the strong thunderstorm line that is just now west of I-35. We've actually got a new tornado warning there. We'll get down to that in just a second. But strong storms from Gainesville to Decatur with flash flooding going on there. And I'm going to slide down to these storms with a new tornado warning that they just now issued just outside of Killeen here between Lampasas and Briggs here. Burnett County is under that warning. There is a pretty decent signature of straight line winds there, but you can oftentimes get little couplets on either side of that would produce little brief spin-ups of tornadoes here. So in Naruna, Lampasas, 5:24, 5:35, the times it would be there for you. Again, take all these warnings seriously. The storms are moving pretty quickly. You may not have a lot of time to get to a safe spot. All right, now to new pictures showing you the storms happening in Lawrence, Kansas. Fresh coating of ice on the trees here. This is the northern side of the entire system. Our Dr. Nav following that as well for us tonight. Now getting some reports, Dr. Nav, of ice really accreting now on trees and power lines, some power outages now being reported. Going to be a really rough night. Yeah, this is a classic setup. You can see all that warm air streaming northward, and it's coming over the very shallow layer of cold air that's right adjacent to the thunderstorms and the heavy rainfall. Kansas City, one area, and Lawrence just to the west of there, right near freezing at the surface, and that's why that rain is falling through and freezing on contact when it gets there. And that problem extends northeastward over to the Cedar Rapids, Iowa, into Dubuque, Iowa. And Mike, that's why we have an ice storm warning in lower Michigan.